Well. World-class veteran video game critic Michael Does Life. Oh, Michael. Folks at home, how are we doing? We are out here, ladies and gentlemen, as the cracks continue to show. The gaming industry has hit the bottom, folks, of the ocean floor. That's right, folks at home. The gaming industry has hit the bottom of the ocean floor, and here's the kicker. The gaming industry right now resides next to the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean floor, and believe me, it is so incredibly sad. So what could potentially happen, if anything, to save this industry that is now right next to the Titanic that sunk in 1912? Well, God of War is coming out, folks at home. God of War is coming out, and I will tell you right here and right now that God of War could very well be that game. Now, look, I know I've been harping on God of War as of late, and I said, don't buy this thing. It's nothing but hot and ready DLC. They're not bringing anything new to the table. It's the same formulaic experience over and over and over again. Babysitter simulator. But now I've come to the point where I don't care anymore. I'm going to stop clamoring for quality, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to consume. Because as a PlayStation 5 owner, there is literally no reason to turn the PlayStation 5 on. And I need a reason to turn my PlayStation 5 on, bro. I need a reason to plug that thing in. And that reason is coming in November. God of War Rangnarok. So as such, since there's nothing else out there to play, folks at home, I will be buying God of War Ragnarok, okay? I will be buying God of War Ragnarok because I'm sick and tired of this industry playing Snow Plasha, okay? That's what I'm sick and tired of this industry doing. Because time and time again, folks, the cracks continue to show. The cracks continue to show. It is time to acknowledge Santa Monica Studio. It is time to acknowledge the existence of God of War, and it is time to sit down, shut up, and eat your popcorn. That's what it's time to do. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, there is no other option, especially as a PlayStation owner, okay? If you have a PlayStation 4 or if you have a PlayStation 5, you need to go out and buy God of War Ragnarok. Because if you don't go out and buy God of War Ragnarok, especially for PS5 owners, there is no point to own that console, period, end of story, okay? As a PlayStation 5 owner, this is that game to showcase, especially this holiday season, running on that PlayStation 5, of course, God of War Ragnarok. Okay, reviews are dropping fairly soon, November 3rd. The reviews for God of War Ragnarok coming on in, okay? So as the review cycle gets closer here, we're going to continue to lock in and cover God of War Ragnarok and hopefully do so in a way that makes sense. Now, predictably, since this is a SNOI title, okay, since this is a exclusive for PlayStation, this is going to score high despite quality, okay? Look, I was not a fan of God of War 2018. I have a video of this of God of War 2018 on my channel here from many years ago, where I dissected God of War 2018, and I told you guys it was a total snooze fest, okay? But as we look towards God of War Ragnarok, it is going to be more of the same. Absolutely, you're seeing recycled assets, recycled animations. It is going to be more of the same. God of War Ragnarok is going to be more of the same. But that, at the end of the day, is what fans are clamoring for, and as such, that's what Sony Santa Monica is delivering come November for God of War Ragnarok. They're going to pull the curtain back and saying, hey, this is more of what you love, and it's now on PlayStation 5. And everyone's going to sit there and jump up and down and act as if this is the most revolutionary title in the world when we know it's not. However, it doesn't need to be, because again, as a PlayStation 5 owner, we are clamoring for quality. We are clamoring for something to play. We need to put a disc into that PlayStation 5, and we need to experience greatness, okay? And could God of War be that game? Could God of War Ragnarok be that game that solidifies the legacy of the PlayStation 5 going forward, okay? There's not many PlayStation 5 exclusives, and the ones that have come out have came and gone. It's been 2 years nearly since the release of PlayStation 5, and I know this is coming to PS4. I get that. I understand that. However, the premier experience is going to be on PlayStation 5. The premier experience is going to be on PlayStation 5. And as such, folks at home, as such, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is going to be a great game to showcase the capabilities of the PlayStation 5. Now, is it going to be held back by that old, outdated, ancient 2013 hardware? Absolutely. It will absolutely be held back. However, you are going to see a few more bells and whistles of God of War Ragnarok running on PlayStation 5. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, folks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So as such, as a PS5 owner who is desperate to play something on the PlayStation 5, I can tell you folks at home right here and right now that the cracks are indeed starting to show. There is no software out there to play that's worthwhile anyway. There's software, okay? If you want to play the new Madden, they got that for you. If you want to play Call of Duty again and again and again, they got that right there for you for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. If you want to play more of God of War, they got that coming in November. Okay, so software does exist, but the compellingness of the software, is it worthwhile? Well, that's a big question, okay? And I don't know if I have all the answers, but what I can tell you is that I will be buying God of War Ragnarok. As someone who is not a fan of the new God of War franchise, I am buying God of War Ragnarok day one. Not only because there's not only very little to play on that PlayStation 5, and I need a reason to plug it in again, but I want to see what they're bringing to the table here. I want to see what they're bringing to the table here. And I'm going to tell you something right here and right now. It is time for Sony to start solidifying the legacy of the PlayStation 5. It is time for Sony to start solidifying the legacy of the PlayStation 5. And as soon as that happens, the better off we can go forward with this generation. You know what I mean? That's what ultimately needs to happen, and I think God of War is going to be that title that makes it happen and makes it pop.
First name, last name.
Let's get it.
£5 through Super Chat. Sony need to get their act together. Dead console, 100.
Well, that's why God of War Ragnarok is coming. That's why God of War Ragnarok is coming in November. You know, let's get 5 leaves out here for first name, last name. I'll tell you what, it is beautiful out here. We're going to get 5 leaves for first name, last name. It came through right there through Super Chat. I'll tell you what, folks at home, this is the reality of the situation. First name, last name coming through in a way that makes sense. We got 2 leaves right here. We got 3 leaves right here. Holy fucking shit, Mark Wahlberg's in here. We got 5 leaves. We got 5 leaves. Who the fuck are you? Well, we got 5 leaves right here from our first name, last name coming through Papa the Cherry. Now we need 2 for Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is saying some crazy shit. He must be drunk up in that fucking Hyatt. Nonetheless, we appreciate it coming through in a way that makes sense. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. We are out here, ladies and gentlemen, live dissecting God of War Ragnarok. Last night we were streaming Red Dead Redemption 2, and an appearance from Jeffrey Dahmer showed up, okay? Jeffrey Dahmer showed up last night, so if you missed that stream, it is right here on the channel. Make sure to check it out, okay? It ain't going to be for everyone, but at the end of the day, if you're looking for an experience to feel something, you're going to definitely feel something when you watch that Red Dead Redemption 2 stream, as we visited Red Dead Redemption 2 4 years after its release, when it released in 2018. And now we're setting our sights on God of War Ragnarok, because, folks at home, it's over!
Lee Cameron donated £5.
Lee Cameron coming through, baby!
I'm sorry, God of War looks amazing. Lots of people, including me, want to see how the story ends, but the combat matters, story matters with fun gameplay.
Well, if you liked God of War 2018, I'll tell you this right here and right now, Lee Cameron. If you liked God of War 2018, you're going to love this because it is more of the same, and that is my problem with God of War Ragnarok is that it isn't bringing enough new to the table. But maybe that's not what's needed. Lee Cameron coming through. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. Let's get your 5 Leafs out here, okay? Lee Cameron coming through. We are out here, ladies and gentlemen, folks at home live. Lee Cameron is coming through, and if I can count here in a way that makes sense, we got 5 Leafs for Lee Cameron. 5 Leafs for Lee Cameron. I think that's a little bit more. Nonetheless, we appreciate you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My God. The dead leaves on the dirty ground are rearing their ugly head, folks at home. We are out here, ladies and gentlemen. God of War Ragnarok. The reviews for God of War Ragnarok drop on the 3rd of November. It is nearly Halloween, okay? It is nearly Halloween, and it is time to get spooky out here as the ghosts and goblins emerge. And I'll tell you what, folks, we are getting very close to the primetime season of the gaming industry. Call of Duty comes out tomorrow. Resident Evil Village DLC comes out tomorrow. And, of course, you got that God of War Ragnarok review embargo lifting on November 3rd, and then the game follows about a week or so after that. So God of War Ragnarok is coming. This is the biggest game for PlayStation in a long, long time. This is bigger than Horizon. This is bigger than Ratchet and Clank. This is bigger than a lot of the games that have come out thus far on the PlayStation 5. Now, the only downside is that God of War Ragnarok is not exclusive to the PlayStation 5. But it was a smart decision from Sony because you can't still, despite nearly being 2 years later, find a PlayStation 5 in the store shelves. And believe me, it really is so incredibly sad. So it's a very smart move from Sony, from that amazing playbook by Jim Ryan, to say, okay, this is going to be a cross-gen title so that every gamer who owns a PlayStation console could play God of War Ragnarok. Merc coming through, baby. Let's move the wheels.
Through Super Chat. Give Santa Monica credit for releasing this year knowing they will be utterly smashed by Elden Ring for Game of the Year.
I disagree. I think this game is going to topple Elden Ring, bro. I shit you not. Okay, maybe not in terms of popularity because Elden Ring is on everything. You can play that bitch on Xbox One. You know what I mean? Which is really fucking crazy. Merc coming through. Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate you. Merc coming through with the 5. And we're going to get you 5 Leafs out here so you guys can look at the beautiful Leafs. Okay, that's the reality of the situation. So here's the reality of the situation. 1, 2, let's see if we can count. 3, 4, 5. Right there. Just the dead leaves are all on the dirty ground out here, folks at home. And I disagree. I think Elden Ring is obviously going to be more popular and because it's on every console. But God of War is only on PlayStation 4, PS5, and probably inevitably PC down the road. But yeah, as such, God of War has less of an advantage, even though it's more of a household name in the Sony sort of bubble. You know, everyone who owns a PlayStation console more than likely knows about God of War. That I know and that I can tell you. But you look at the Elden Ring fanboys, and of course, the Elden Ring fanboys are going to be salty. But let me tell you this, at least God of War Ragnarok is a linear experience when you look at Elden Ring, and there's no point to play Elden Ring again because you already know where things are at. You already know how things operate. There's no dynamicness to the open world in Elden Ring, and that's why it's not going to win Game of the Year.
Han Solo
Let's get it, Han Solo! Holy shit!
Bear, 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 bear. Bear.
25? I can't find 25. I mean, there's hundreds of Leafs out here, but I mean, you think I'm picking up 25 Leafs, you can kiss my foot. Nonetheless, we appreciate that. Han Solo coming through. I put your name in the gravel the other day. That was incredible, wasn't it? You love that one, didn't you? Han Solo coming through. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. Let's get a W in the chat if you are picking up God of War Ragnarok. I'm literally buying this because I have nothing else to play. And, you know, look, as a PlayStation 5 owner, I don't like God of War 2018. I think it's garbage. I don't think the babysitter Resident Evil 4 clone type fucking thing works. But, you know, if people like it, that's fine. I'm not shitting on their parade. However, with that said, and I have not completed God of War 2018. I have not completed God of War 2018. I have tried. I have it on PlayStation Plus. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm not going to complete that because I want to jump right into God of War Ragnarok on PlayStation 5, and especially after reading those reviews because I know they're going to be positive. You know, I think in fact this might actually score better than Elden Ring, okay? I honestly think this has a very high chance to score better than Elden Ring. And I know that's going to piss a lot of people off, especially the Elden Ring families, because they want to sit there and go, well, Michael, you can't dethrone Elden Ring. Shut your bitch ass up, Michael. Who the hell you think you are? You coming out here yelling at your laptop. You looking like a freak. You looking like a homeless kid, Michael.
Chris Kilo making $9.99 through
Holy
Super
shit!
Chat. Michael, I appreciate you, bro, but I must play Ragnarok to see more Fatherhood Simulator. Sony ponies rise up, father and son, father and son, father and son, father and son.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, look, if you have a son and, you have a family, obviously that's going to resonate more. And I think that's why God of War 2018 clicked with a lot of people, because they kind of felt that dynamic, you know what I mean? But as someone who is a virgin over, here at age 35, we are screwed. We're never going to have a family because, I'm gay. But at the end of the day, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Chris G coming through. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you with the $10 super chat. Holy shit, hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. Chris G coming through in a way that makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, folks at home, we are out here. We are dissecting God of War Ragnarok. Nearly 300 views. Holy shit, I'm going to have a heart attack out here. We ain't going to make it to God of War Ragnarok because holy fuck. Chris G coming through. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. Let me find 10 leaves. It's going to take me about 10 minutes, okay? So you guys figure something out to do as I find 10 leaves to showcase out here. This is fantastic stuff. Look at this right here. This is incredible stuff right here, folks. Look at this. This is unbelievably amazing. And I'll tell you what, folks at home, when you really start to dissect the PlayStation conundrum, it is incredibly sad. It really is incredibly sad because, The Last of Us should not have come. This might be 10. The Last of Us should not have come to the PC. Okay, in my opinion. It dilutes the PlayStation brand, and I know that's sort of gatekeeping, but that's always been the PlayStation mentality. That's always been the PlayStation mentality. You know what I mean? So it's really so incredibly sad. That I know that I can tell you. You love this community. Well, we love you, and we're glad that you're here because, folks at home, without you, we would not be here. Let's just put it that way, okay? We would not be here, and I'll tell you what, we are going to be picking up, as such, God of War Ragnarok in November. That's what we're going to do. And I told you the reasons again and again and again why we're going to do that, because there's quite frankly nothing else out there to play. Chris G coming through, hell yeah, but holy shit!
Evans the Watcher donated €10 through Super Chat. If God of War has beaten RDR2, chances are high that it'll definitely win GOTY. At least, that's what I think.
Well, it has a chance of beating out Elden Ring. I can tell you that right here and right now. I truly believe that it has a chance of beating out Elden Ring. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. Evans coming through. Evans, the waitress, coming through. That's what we're talking about. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that. We are out here live, ladies and gentlemen, folks at home. This guy hates every game. I'm literally going to buy God of War Ragnarok, dude. What are you talking about?
Chat. If Elden Snooze gets GOTY, gaming is officially Skull.
Fable coming through. Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate you. If Elden Snooze gets Game of the Year, gaming is officially dead. Well, Elden Ring has a problem. Okay, Elden Ring has a problem because ultimately, at the end of the day, like I said, when you boot up Elden Ring after you have completed it, you know what to expect. The game is too predictable. And as an open world experience, that's the worst thing you could do. The game is too predictable. You know where the enemies fall. You know how the enemies operate. You know what's around the corner. That's why a lot of these horror games that come out these days fail, because they're way too predictable and they play it safe, and that's one of the problems with Elden Ring. Why would players want to, boot Elden Ring back up when they already know what's right around that corner, when they already know how the cookie ultimately crumbles? It just makes absolutely no sense. So at least God of War, going in, you're getting a linear experience. It's not trying to be something more than because Elden Ring is too ambitious. It's a great sort of first base step for the open world genre in that kind of space with the Elden Ring from software shit. But ultimately Elden Ring 2 will be much better. That I know, that I can tell you. And they're going to have to look at the feedback seriously and say, okay, let's revamp this. Miyazaki's going to have to look at it and say, okay, let's rework the dynamic kind of elements. Let's make the enemies move to different positions. and have them on schedules or something to that extent, because when you know exactly where the enemies are going to be, when you know how the boss plays, how the boss fights play out, it just loses its appeal, in my opinion. That's the reality of the situation. So, guys, I do believe God of War Ragnarok, and again, as someone who really isn't a God of War fan, I'm buying it just because I need something to play. That I know, that I can tell you. I'm buying it just because I need something to play. It's not because I'm really looking forward to where this journey is going, because quite frankly, I haven't even completed God of War 2018. But I am going to jump in right here with God of War Ragnarok in November on that PlayStation 5. If I don't buy this game, I might as well sell my PlayStation 5, because there is literally no point to own it. You know what I mean? Sony is in a position right now where they don't have much software coming out that's exclusive to the PS5, very little that's actually exclusive to the PS5 or any just like first-party shit in general. So as such, as a PS5 owner, I need a reason to turn that damn thing back on.
Mike Hunt smells.
Let's get it!
£2 through Super Chat. Put it in Mike Hunt till I squirt and queef.
I'm nervous. Nonetheless, we appreciate it. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. Let's get you 2 leaves right here. Okay, these are beautiful leaves. They're so dirty. Oh, and they just smell so great. You know, it's just fantastic. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. We are out here live, ladies and gentlemen, folks at home, talking about God of War Ragnarok. I am going to play it, and I'm going to buy it on PlayStation 5. Because, again, why would I not buy God of War Ragnarok? As someone who doesn't even care for God of War 2018, why would I not buy it?
Harsh Sparse donated $4.99
Let's get it!
through Super Chat. Mackle, all these takes are kinda mid. Also, your hairline has receded 5 miles.
Yeah.
Cut it off. Lightning showers.
No, I'm not cutting it off, dude.
Showers,
Why don't you send over the hair cream? Why don't you send over the hair cream and we'll fix it, bro? You just splatter it on a little bit and it starts regrowing, okay? And when you get over the age of 22 years old, because you guys are like 21, 22 years old in here, you know, it's like, oh my God, we're so mature, Michael. We know how life is. No, when you get 30 plus, you're going to start to feel a little differently. The bones are going to start to creak a little differently. And then you're going to have nostalgia for high school and all this other shit. It's really fucking stupid and weird. No one tells you about this shit, but that's what's going to happen, okay? And what you know ultimately need to understand is that the balding is a normal process, okay? It is a normal process, okay? You know, everyone goes bald. Harsh Sparse coming through. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. That's the reality of the situation. Yeah, you know, it's not an L take. I'm literally saying I'm going to buy God of War Ragnarok, and then people are saying, oh, Michael's just hating on this game. It's like, well, maybe I will come out of it and say this is trash and this is mid and this isn't where it needs to be. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I am buying God of War Ragnarok because you know what? I need something to fucking play on my PS5. I need to see pixels emerging that the PlayStation 5 can fucking produce. It doesn't matter if I like God of War Ragnarok. It doesn't matter if I like God of War 2018. At the end of the day, I need something new, I need something fresh, and I need something that's going to utilize the exclusive features of the PlayStation 5, and obviously it's a first-party title from Sony Santa Monica, and God of War Ragnarok is going to be that title. So I'm buying God of War Ragnarok. I don't care if the reviews come out and give it a 7. I'm buying God of War Ragnarok. I've made up my mind because, again, at the end of the day, I need a reason. I need Sony to give me a reason to freaking plug the PlayStation 5 back in. Because right now it's unplugged. Obviously, I plugged it in last night to play a fucking PS4 game, a game that's 4 years old, Red Dead Redemption 2. But I ain't playing no PS5 games on it. Okay, every time I turn it on, it's to play some old fucking PS4 games, you know? It's a little ridiculous, it's a little stupid and silly, but that's just the position that we're in, especially where Sony's right
Lee
about
Cameron
now.
Let's
get it, Lee Cameron coming through!
I do
Holy
wish they
shit.
made more of a PS5 game graphically and in terms of gameplay enhancement, but the scalpers ruined that chance. So sad, incredibly sad.
I mean, it really is, believe me, bro. It literally is so incredibly sad. Lee Cameron! Lee Cameron! Holy shit! Lee Cameron! Lee Cameron coming through. That's what we're talking about. 2-time Tony Hawk combo for Lee Cameron. Look at all of these leaves. Look at all of these leaves. They're so beautiful. Holy shit, Harsh Sparse coming through. Harsh Sparse coming through. That's what we're talking about. Hey there, boy.
Fortnite.
No, we're not playing Fortnite. Well, I think Kratos is in Fortnite, you know what I mean? So you can get your fill with Kratos right there in Fortnite with that battle pack. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that. Harsh Bars coming through, Lee Cameron coming through. We are out here live, ladies and gentlemen, folks at home. God of War Ragnarok, I am buying it, okay, because I need something to play. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. I've already reviewed God of War 2018. Dylan Block coming through. Dylan Block coming through.
We all know that you are excited to play God of War. Don't try to hide it. Balding, moon viewing ceremony, moon viewing ceremony.
Balding?
Moon viewing ceremony.
You know, why don't you look in the mirror, bro?
Ceremony.
Why don't you wake up and why don't you look in the mirror and let's see that bald spot, okay? Come on, Dylan Block. Come on, Dylan Block. Don't be a stupid idiot. Balding. You know, I'm getting sick and tired of it, dude. Balding. You know, it's so. The good senator! You got to get back out here, bro.
Beta test for the PC Master Race.
Well, I just don't believe Sony should have went down that road. Of course, it makes sense right now with the shortage of the PS5 still nearly 2 years later. But honestly, it really diminishes the kind of brand loyalty that a lot of PlayStation fans had. And now they just kind of feel like, well, it's coming to PC. I might as well build a fucking PC. The good senator coming through!
47 Zombies donated £50.
What?
Chat. Mackle, are you trying to shill God of War because you want to impress Alana Pierce? It's over. Shut up.
No, what do you mean? There ain't no way. Holy shit! 47 zombies! EK-47 zombies! Holy fucking shit! EK-47 zombies coming through really hard and really strong with the briefcase drop. Holy shit, we're talking about a briefcase drop! EK-47 zombies coming through in a way that makes sense. My God! What are you talking about? You know, look, Alana Pierce. Woo! You know? Jesus Christ, you got me worked up out here. EK-47 zombies! EK-4, let's get a W in that chat! EK-47 zombies coming through in a way that makes sense. Holy shit, we're clipping. EK-47 zombies coming through in a way that makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, folks at home, it is time to let Sony come to you. And it is time to let Sony show you what they can pull off here in late 2022. Again, I'm not a fan of God of War 2018. That is well known, okay? I've reviewed God of War 2018 when it came out, before it came out, actually. And I tried it when it was free on PlayStation Plus, and I never clicked with it. I think that single camera thing is kind of cool, where they're following, you know, Kratos and his son, and it never cuts. You know, that's a cool gimmick, and I got to the boss fight where the boss comes in, and he's like, you know, and he pushes God of War, he pushes Kratos through all of the cabins and fucking shit. It was crazy. It is like a Marvel fucking movie, okay? So they got the high production value. Obviously, that's what Sony's all about. And it's crisp as fuck, even with my stupid eyeballs.
Chris G.
Let's get it, Chris G! Chris G! Chris G!
Deploy the God of War shills.
Oh my God, we got to get the God of War shills out here. Alana Pierce is working on this game, okay? How could you not buy it? You have to support Alana Pierce. You have to support the PlayStation 5. You have to show Jim Ryan that this is what you want to see, folks at home. That's why I'm buying it. Because as a PS5 owner, I got nothing to fucking play, baby. And if it sucks, it sucks. If it's great, it's incredible. You know what I mean? That's the Sony fucking method, baby. And again, for PS4 owners, you're not left in the dark, okay? So yeah, that might suck for PS5 owners, for the fucking, 1 million people, if that have a PS5, because it's going to hold it back a little bit. That old, outdated, ancient 2013 hardware. However, it's still going to look good. It's a first-party title, and a lot of the games, to be totally frank, can still run on PS4, okay? That myth of the PS4 is so outdated is total garbage. Obviously, it is outdated in terms of how fast we've gone. We've gone so fast, it's like getting into a fucking Elon Musk Tesla and going from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. You know, that's how far we've come in technology in terms of 2013 to 2020 when the PS5 came out. But with that said, the PS4 is still capable enough. And again, a lot of the software that you see that has come out as of late, and that even is exclusive to the PS5, like the Last of Us remake, that could have been done on PlayStation 4. That could have been, holy shit, someone came through and gifted a membership. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. That's what we're talking about. Troy Sports coming through. Look, ladies and gentlemen, folks at home, if you're just tuning in, make sure you subscribe right now, okay? Click the subscribe button. We're going to be following God of War all the way up until its release in November, and we're going to call it right down the middle, okay, folks? If I play it and I don't like it, I'm going to say that, and I know that might piss people off, okay? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, World Class is out here, and he's a little wired differently, okay? I didn't think Elden Ring was all that spectacular. Now, initially, I was really fond of Elden Ring. I thought, holy shit, there's something to this. I kind of like that sense of achievement. You got to jump over those fucking hurdles, and they keep getting taller and taller and taller. You had to conquer the fucking game. But at the end of the day, it got really repetitive, and especially the Elden Ring community, they were very toxic, and they gatekeeped, and they played armchair like, well, this is how you're supposed to play it, Michael. Oh, that right there? Oh, no. That's not going to work. That really didn't help my experience. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I came away not liking Elden Ring, despite everyone else and their grandma liking Elden Ring, okay? And then God of War Ragnarok comes along, okay? God of War Ragnarok, that's what our sights are set on right now. God of War Ragnarok, okay? Is this game, you're literally fighting these crazy fucking mythological bosses, right? They could be real. I don't know how this shit works, the God Greeks and all this shit. But ultimately, at the end of the day, bro, when you played the old God of War games, they were very different. Okay? They were very, very different.
Disc Milk donated $2 through Super Chat.
Disc Milk!
Tom Cruise is hot.
Well, so is Alana Pierce. What do you want me to do? There's many hot people in this world, okay? But do you think they're out here with world class? Absolutely not. They wouldn't want to sit out here. Look at this. Just a beautiful, picturesque landscape out here. Just incredibly amazing. That's what we're talking about. Hell yeah. By the way, appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. We are live, folks at home. Disc Milk coming through with the 2. We are out here, and I'm going to tell you this right here, right now. I know we keep reiterating and repeating, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I am going to be buying God of War Ragnarok. I need something to play on my PlayStation 5, and I'm going to tell you this right here and right now. I'm expecting to be disappointed. I'm expecting to be disappointed with God of War Ragnarok because when I played, and I tried, when I played God of War 2018, like I said, I got to that point where, Kratos is fighting that fucking boss, and he never dies, despite Kratos, plowing, it was a great scene, and it, never ended. It's like, Jesus Christ, how much fucking brutality can Kratos take? And he gets plowed through all of this shit, the trees, the cabins, the whole fucking, goddamn landscape. It's crazy. But, even I got to that point, and I know that's fairly early on in the game, but I got to that point, and I said, you know what? This isn't really doing anything for me. It's a Resident Evil 4 clone, essentially. You're babysitting another fucking NPC. And it's just kind of like Elden Ring, kind of dodge attack, formulaic thing. And I don't think that's going to change for me with God of War Ragnarok. But again, I'm going to fucking buy it because I need something to play on my PS5. Again, if I'm not going to buy these PS5 games, what is the point in owning the console? There's literally no point in owning the console. I bought Returnal, okay? Dead ass. I bought Returnal. I didn't like that game. Hated it. Okay? I told people not to buy it even. I told people not to buy Returnal before it came out. And yet I bought Returnal. I bought Ratchet and Clank, okay, for $70 fucking. I bought Ratchet and Clank. I told people not to buy that game. And I was right. It's a snooze fest. Great graphics, great presentation, okay. But was I really blown away with these dimensions? Oh yeah, it's really utilizing the capabilities of the SSD. Well, it might be, okay. And it looks fantastic, and the production value is off the chain. But ultimately, at the end of the day, that really wasn't my type of game. But I bought a lot of Sony exclusive PS5 games, okay? I bought a lot of PS5 exclusives despite me saying, you know what? Because I need something to play on that console. Because otherwise, why did I buy the console? Big Boss coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate you, brand new member. That's what we're talking about. Big Boss coming through in a way that makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are out here, and we are discussing the reality of the situation with God of War Ragnarok. And I'm going to tell you something right here and right now, folks. I am buying the game. I know I keep saying that, but we're going to buy it because we have to see if it's going to float my boat. We have to see on whether or not can God of War hit that home run. And we're hoping that it can. I want to come away from my PS5 experience as 2020 concludes here in just a few months and say, okay, it wasn't half that bad, okay? And maybe God of War can send this shit off in a way that makes sense to kind of solidify going forward that PlayStation 5 legacy. Now, again, I know this is a cross-gen title, and of course, there's going to be that cross-gen kind of remnant stuck in that PlayStation 5 version of God of War Ragnarok. However, with that said, that's just how the industry is right now. The PS4 is still alive and kicking despite being nearly a decade old, and it's going to continue that way for at least another couple of years due to the way the situation is with the PlayStation 5. Do you think when you ask Santa Claus to get his fat ass down that chimney, he's able to get you a fucking PS5? Probably not. It's still going to be a scarce commodity, the PlayStation 5 this holiday season, which is great because For Sony, anyway, it's great for Sony because, again, that's why they're putting out God of War for the PlayStation 4. And it was probably, if I had to guess, and I don't know, but it was probably, if I had to guess, developed with the PS4 to begin with, you know what I mean? And then they're just going to add some bells and whistles, higher frame rate, higher resolution, and maybe some better lighting and, shaders, what have you, to the PlayStation 5 version. Obviously, faster loading SSD, boom, 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 boom. You're right in that experience. And I think this is going to impress a lot of people. I mean, I really do. If you're a fan of God of War 2018, you're probably going to love God of War Ragnarok. I don't know why they would fumble that football. Maybe it might be underwhelming a tad bit because Cory Barlog isn't behind this one, But at the end of the day, even if it's hot and ready DLC, it's still something.
Sumksawiki donated 50 Polish zlotys through
Holy
Super
shit,
Chat.
Polish
Kind
zlotys!
regards to the most honest and demanding critic on you. Keep up the good work, Michael.
That's what we're talking about. Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate you. Polak Swaki coming through. That's what we're talking about, bro. We appreciate you coming through. We appreciate you guys being here. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the show. We talk daily about the world of video games out here. And, a lot of the times we are wrong. A lot of the times we take an L out here. A lot of the times we do fumble that football. But what I can tell you is that, I have to buy something. You know what I mean? I have to buy something. Otherwise, we might as well take the PS5 and say, you can have it. I don't want it anymore. You know what I mean? Because if I don't buy God of War Ragnarok, what else is there to buy? Sony isn't giving me option after option. I bought The Last of Us Part 1 Remake. And I will tell you this right here, right now. There's a hot, juicy take. The Last of Us Part 1 Remake, I'm not a fan of the first game. Okay, there's going to be a really contrarian take out here, but I, in my opinion, think that The Last of Us Part 2 is way superior in literally every facet than The Last of Us Part 1, even with the remake, okay? Because when I was playing the remake on PlayStation 5, and again, it's exclusive to PlayStation 5, coming to PC later, when I played the remake on PlayStation 5, I sat there and I said, you know what? I'd rather boot up The Last of Us Part 2. It's just got better gameplay. It's just more evolved gameplay. It's not so one-dimensional. And I honestly like the story because it made me feel something. I got so fucking pissed off when they killed Joel. Now, I didn't get that pissed off because I wasn't really that big into The Last of Us to begin with. But it's still Joel. He clicked with a lot of people. And, it's an iconic character. And all of a sudden, you have Abby coming through with the big fucking club. And she's going to be like, you're done. And it's over. And Neil Druckmann set that up in a way that makes sense to make the player feel something. And as such, you're motivated to now continue this journey, and you're motivated to take out Abby as Ellie and to get revenge. And it's just a nonstop fucking cycle of revenge and kill and revenge and kill. And it's just a beautiful... I got to stop talking about The Last of Us Part 2 in here because I know that, people are not going to be happy about my take with that. But nonetheless, The Last of Us Part 1 Remake on PS5, I bought that. I bought that, and I was kind of defending that. I was kind of on the fence. Like some days I would say, okay, maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe it is. Is it worth it? It really depends on your liking of The Last of Us, really, to be honest. If you're a hardcore fan of The Last of Us Part 1, it's a no-brainer. And as a PS5 owner, again, you're in that position where it's like, okay, there's one game every 5 months, every 6 months. You kind of have to buy it. I mean, you don't, but what's the point of owning the PlayStation 5? Why would I not go out and buy God of War Ragnarok? You know what I mean? As a PlayStation 5 owner, why would I not go out and buy God of War Ragnarok? It just doesn't make sense, folks. It really just doesn't make sense. So that's where I stand right now with God of War Ragnarok. And I know these reviews, when they come out on November 3rd, that's when the embargo lifts for God of War Ragnarok. I know these reviews are going to be incredible, okay? This is God of War. It's PlayStation exclusive. This is going to be incredible in terms of the reviews. They're going to come out of the woodwork and give this very, very high scores, okay? And I'm not saying that, the game doesn't deserve it. Obviously, what do I know? I haven't played it, okay? But I will play it in November on my PlayStation 5. I'm going to buy the disc version, okay? And I'm going to play what's on the disc, and I'm going to review the game, and I'm going to say, okay, either this was amazing or maybe it didn't hit that home run. That's what I'm going to do because I need to do that. As a PlayStation 5 owner, the last game that I bought was The Last of Us Part 1 Remake, and I played that for 30 minutes, and I said, well, I've already played this game. I remember playing it back on the PS3. I rented that game. Couldn't afford the games back then. I rented the game on PS3, and I played it and played it and played it. It was fantastic, and then eventually it came to the PS Plus and the remastered edition, and I thought the remastered edition for The Last of Us wasn't fantastic. I thought that was, they just didn't do enough with that version because it came to PS3, then it came to PS4 like, a year later, if that? And what did they do? Very, very little, in my opinion. So when you look at The Last of Us Part 1 Remake, Was it a remake? I mean, I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. But at the end of the day, did it take full advantage of the PS5? I don't really think that it did. I'm hoping that it didn't, because I think you're going to see better advancements with God of War Ragnarok here, even though it's a PS4 game. I think they're just going to push the envelope a little bit, because you look at God of War 2018, and that's more impressive than The Last of Us Part 1. You got this guy coming through, these two gods colliding, or whatever the fuck. And it's just like, holy shit, things are destroying, things are fucking blowing up. It's crazy. That scene with that boss, you guys know what I'm talking about, is just absolutely insane. And you're wondering when this is going to end and how much fucking money did they put into this. You know what I mean? I like games like that where it's like, I remember playing the old Call of Duty game. It's not old now. I mean, it's not that old. But Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, I know everyone hates that one, but that's the last Call of Duty game that you could actually play on the fucking disc. And I remember playing the campaign in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. There's literally a scene when you're in space and there's like a million lasers on the fucking screen, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, how did they pull this off? It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. So I like Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, especially considering the fact that the campaign gave you choice, gave you opportunity to do different side missions and what have you. They've never done that really since in a Call of Duty game, and it's so disappointing, but it is what it is. And speaking of the new Call of Duty, that comes out tomorrow. And, of course, you got Resident Evil Village DLC tomorrow. And then, of course, the big kahuna in November, God of War Ragnarok. So that's really where we stand, That's really where we stand, and we're going to have to see how the cookie crumbles here with God of War Ragnarok. Again, the reviews go up on the 3rd, and let's go ahead and look at the launch trailer here. We're going to pull this up, folks. We're going to go ahead and look at the launch trailer here for God of War Ragnarok. So I'm going to pull this up here. I think it came out today, and they're not showing us too much, okay? Because apparently it's just kind of a recycled trailer. They're not showing us too much because they probably don't want spoilers out there, although I'm sure there's spoilers already on the internet. But let's go and look at this launch trailer for God of War Ragnarok, okay? Let's go ahead and look at this launch trailer here for God of War Ragnarok as I figure out where this is at here. And right here, God of War Ragnarok, the PlayStation YouTube channel. We're going to pull this up here in just a moment, okay? So hold your seatbelt in place, and I'm not even seeing it anymore. Did they take it down? Here we go. 6 hours ago, God of War launch trailer. We're going to pull this up here. Holy fucking shit, that is loud. Let me fix that real quick here. That is incredibly loud on my end. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and pull this up here, folks at home. We're going to look at this God of War Ragnarok launch trailer. Now, this game doesn't come out until I don't know the exact release date, but it doesn't come out immediately. So I'm very curious to see. Here we go.
Time is running out. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming.
You don't really want war. All that blood on your hands, on your son's hands.
Fate only binds you if you let it. We will make our own destiny.
Okay, November 9th. November 9th is when it comes out, but the reviews come out on November 3rd. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's nearly 1 week until the game comes out. So the reviews, Sony's saying, hey, publish your reviews nearly 1 week before the game comes out. And that is encouraging. Of course, it's PlayStation exclusive. Of course, as you see, it's on PS4 and PS5. The PS5 is obviously going to be the best version, no doubt about that. And, I mean, am I blown away here? I really don't know what's going on. I have not completed God of War 2018. And, again, I want to go into this fresh because if I play God of War 2018, here's the problem with this game, okay? I'm just going to say this right here, right now. Here's the problem with this game. It is probably going to be very similar to God of War 2018. And most people are clamoring for that type of experience. Most people are clamoring for that type of experience. They're clamoring for more. And that's what this is going to deliver. Just like Spider-Man Miles delivered more of Spider-Man PS4. It's pretty much a similar experience. Obviously, a new theme, new story, new characters. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the nuts and bolts mechanics were very familiar, and players felt right at home. And that's what's going to more than likely happen here with God of War Ragnarok. You're not going to see, in my opinion, too much difference from that 2018 game. because it wouldn't make much sense for them to go crazy like that. You know what I mean? You stick to the formula, you stick to what works, and then you kind of evolve from that in a way that makes sense, whether it be, big changes or subtle changes. I think that's what ultimately God of War Ragnarok is going to deliver. And as such, in my opinion, if I were to play God of War 2018 right now fully, that could maybe dilute this experience here coming in November. Because if I burn myself out on God of War 2018, and yeah, maybe it would, make sense to play it for the story and what have you, but at the end of the day, I'm jumping into Ragnarok because I'm not going to spoil Ragnarok based off of a 2018, if I played the 2018 game, because, it could burn me out.
Boy donated €5 through Super Chat. Gaming is a barren wasteland.
Well, we're just going to have to start coming together, and we're going to have to learn how to make a game. That's all I can tell you. If you guys are on the same page as me in the sense that gaming is not as good as it once was or what have you, then maybe ultimately at the end of the day, we're just going to have to come together and think of a cool idea and a simple idea and one that can actually be made. And just kind of execute on that and just make our own fucking game. Because ultimately, we can't wait for this massive gaming industry to start churning out this incredible software every other year. It's just not going to happen. It's not capable anymore. And these games have gotten too big. The gaming industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So, and it wasn't like that back in 2001. Obviously, it was very popular. But gaming is bigger now than it ever has been. It's an entertainment staple, you know what I mean? It's not as taboo to say, hey, I'm gaming anymore. Compared to what it once was, like in the late 90s or whatever. It's like, yeah, you're a fucking nerd. You're a virgin. It's like, well, yeah, I am still a nerd and still a virgin here in 2022. But at the end of the day, the software is bigger. The entertainment industry is more accepting of the games industry, and it's just becoming this massive, thing that I don't think anyone thought it was ever going to, amount to. So that's really where the gaming industry is at right now, and that's why a lot of these publishers are afraid to kind of pivot from the formula. And that's why I think, maybe there might be some reviews that are very critical of this God of War Ragnarok experience and saying, hey, you know what, maybe this is too similar to the God of War 2018 experience. There might be some reviews that come out of the woodwork and say, hey, you know what, this didn't blow me away, and the fact of the matter is that it may be too similar to God of War 2018. We're just going to have to wait and see on whether or not that becomes the case. But, look, for most people want more of the same. Look at Call of Duty. That new Call of Duty campaign, bro, I watched tons of it, and I just can't see how that's even great. You know what I mean? It's more of the same. It's more of like, hey, we're going to throw you a mid-campaign out. And mind you, there's not going to be a Call of Duty next year, right? Now, granted, they could put out some story DLC. I doubt that. And then when you buy the disc version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, it has literally like fucking, 70 megabytes on the disc? So you're literally buying nothing, and you have to be on the internet to basically download the entire game, which is probably, 120 gigabyte fucking download. It's absolutely insane. Now, granted, on the box, it does tell you that, but it's still fucking stupid and ridiculous. Now, granted, with God of War, when you buy the disc, you get the fucking game, and that's cool. So at least that has this going for it, that sort of old school kind of like, hey, you bought the game, you can fucking play it. There's something actually on the disc, and internet isn't required. Of course, this is going to, no doubt have updates and things like that, like every game does these days. But, yeah, I'm curious to see how this is going to perform on PS4 and, that transition to PS5. Is it really going to take advantage? And, are we going to see that kind of old, outdated, ancient 2013 hardware kind of rear its ugly head in this experience?
Justice donated $2 through Super Chat. You're a virgin, fam?
Well, that's what I've said. That's what I've said. So, what do you want me to tell you? You want me to come out here and lie? As far as I know, I am a virgin, okay? Now, maybe I lost my virginity a long time ago, but I forgot because we have probably early dementia out here. I don't know. But look, at the end of the day, as far as I remember, I'm a virgin, okay? But I don't know how that has anything to do with the discussion at hand, bro. What you mean? So that's where I'm at right now. That's where World Class stands. That's why I say do not buy God of War Ragnarok. Because, like I said, if you own a PS4, PS5, you're obviously clamoring for something to play. Obviously, Call of Duty comes out literally tomorrow, probably today or tomorrow, whenever. Okay, officially tomorrow, I guess. Resident Evil Village DLC. But you really look at the rest of the remaining calendar, and it's not really that chock full of entertainment. I mean, you got, of course, God of War Rangnarok, the big one in November. I think fucking Need for Speed in December, and there might be a few other titles that I'm missing. But ultimately, this year kind of like blew its load very early. You had Dying Light 2, you had Elden Ring, you had a lot of those games come out earlier this year, and then all of a sudden it got really, really quiet. And now it's starting to ramp back up. God of War coming out in November. Obviously now Modern Warfare 2. So things are starting to pick up. Is it going to be great quality
Justice
software?
donated
Well, that's just the way the
$5
cookie
through
crumbles in the
Super
eye of the beholder.
$5 for keeping it real.
That's what we're talking about. Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate you, Justice, coming through. I'm keeping it real in the sense that it's like, do I really want to go out and buy God of War Ragnarok? I mean, am I jumping up and down to play this? Not necessarily. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm not into this, like, Greek mythology because, I don't even understand it, to be honest. I think it's cool, and I remember playing the old God of War games. Like, I would just throw them in. They weren't meant to be taken totally seriously, and, it just didn't feel like they tried as hard back then. They didn't take themselves that seriously because the old God of War games are very different than what this is today. The old God of War games are very different from what this is today. They were hack and slash games. They were very edgy. They were naughty. They were mature games, and you would put them on when your mother went to sleep. Now, these games right here, you can probably play them with your mother, and she might be invested now. You know what I mean? So that to me isn't as interesting. They've taken God of War, and they've kind of ripped out the sort of the entire appeal of God of War, you know what I mean? They really have destroyed God of War. So to me, these aren't really God of War games. They're nice little spin-off titles, and I know that's going to piss some people off in here. But you're just not getting that same familiar experience, based off of what I played in 2018 with the 2018 God of War. And again, maybe this is a different experience. Maybe things kind of ramp up and it seems like in this trailer here, as we play through it a little bit more, it seems like they're going to return to that sort of like formulaic big boss, as you can see in the trailer. Kratos fights this big boss right here in just a moment. You'll see this right here play out. And, that stuff was pretty interesting. That's a pretty big boss. But I remember in like God of War fucking 3 or some shit like that, like, bro, you were fighting this boss was like 400 feet tall. And it's like, how do I even defeat this thing? It's like the creative juice behind those old God of War games was absolutely insane. And I'm not saying there's not creative juice here. There's obviously high production value, high production moments. But it was just like you were doing some fucking crazy shit. Like they even had a mini game in the old God of War games where you would get in bed with these women and just like tap buttons on the fucking thing. And it's like, oh yeah. And it's like, bro, if Sony did that today, they'd probably be fucking canceled. So they had to change up God of War, and they kind of gave it that Last of Us Resident Evil 4 treatment, and it's working very well. God of War is bigger now than ever before. So, that's why I'm just, that's where I stand right now. Again, I need something to play on my PlayStation 5. I need Sony to give me a reason to buy this game, and they've done that not because I'm, jumping up and down, but because I need something to play. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. So
Nervous Energy donated $5 through Super Chat. Who needs games? I'd rather have some dudes over and take some pictures.
God. What does that mean, bro? Nervous Energy coming through, just unbelievable. Oh my God, maybe they should make the Jeffrey Dahmer game next. Could you imagine? Holy shit. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that Nervous Energy coming through, folks at home. Let's go ahead and take some questions here in the chat or comments, and let's see what the folks at home are saying. Blood everywhere. Well, one of the things here, you're a moron if you think the old games suck. I don't think anyone's saying that, okay? There's probably a lot of people that are new to the God of War franchise, and they probably haven't played the old games because I don't know if they're, easily accessible. But I remember playing the God of War 3, just some of the older God of War games on PS2 at a friend's house, and it's like, damn, this is kind of crazy. I mean, I sucked at them, but there was blood all over the fucking screen. You were doing just crazy shit that has nothing to do with God of War now. So it's like they basically just rebuilt God of War for this new generation, and this new generation is falling right in line with it because, it caters and panders to that new generation. And the boomers like us, well, we're not getting that same God of War experience that we once were, familiar with. I'm not saying these aren't fucking gory and violent, but it's in a different sort of more fucking laid back way, I guess you could say. It's not as blunt and bold about it. It's not like, hey, we're gonna go fuck some bitches in this bed, and you're gonna press circle and square, and you're gonna hear some fucking moaning. You ain't doing that shit in the new God of War, because it's not the same God of War. And, that's okay, that's fine. But, like I said, the hack and slash sort of style that the old games presented are just absent. And it was a great game to put on to relieve some stress. Like, okay, you get home from work, school, what have you, and it's like, well, fuck this shit. I had a bad day at school. They were bullying me in school. So it's like, well, now we're going to put some God of War on and just start fucking hacking and slashing. And that's what God of War was all about, baby. And it's a little different now. Let's just say that. It's a little different now because ultimately, at the end of the day, they have taken a different approach and a different tone. And, that's fair. Obviously, changes for the better. Jan Crispy 6 coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate you with the 5. Playing a game for cinematics is like watching... Well, I mean, I'm not big on story, okay? I'm not big on story. And that's one of the problems to me with God of War 2018 is that you can't skip anything. You literally, as far as I know, unless I didn't press the right button, you can't skip anything. So you got to sit through that whole fucking experience over and over and over again, that one camera shot in God of War 2018, and you got to watch it play out over and over and over again. And that is annoying. That's one of the problems that I have with Max Payne 3. It takes forever to skip those cutscenes. You can skip the cutscenes in Max Payne 3, but by the time it loads to skip the cutscene, it's already fucking done with, for the most part. So that's an annoying experience that I hope has been rectified here. Does anyone know if God of War Ragnarok is going to have that single take again? Is that the approach that they're taking with this, or have they elevated from that? Is God of War, I don't think it's going to be like that this time around, which, of course it made it unique, but if they did it again, would it have that same appeal? I'm not entirely sure. But as we look at this, does anyone know if God of War Ragnarok is going to have that single camera take? Because I'm not going to lie, that was, it was kind of cool, but at the same time, not being able to skip that shit was just kind of frustrating through different playthroughs. And maybe there was a way to skip it. I don't know. But the last time I played God of War 2018 was when they added the 60 frames update on PS5. Okay, they added the 60 frames update on PS5. And one of the things that I remember about God of War 2018 was that it was the most crisp-looking game that I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not even kidding. Visually, bro, Kratos' beard, I have never seen a more crisp game on a television. I don't know what was going on with God of War 2018, but I have legitimately never seen a more crisp game visually. In terms of just the shit fucking pops on the screen. That shit fucking pops on the screen. I've never seen just a more crisp experience than God of War 2018 on PS5. And I'm sure on PC it's even better. But like I said, what I want to do as someone who wasn't fond of God of War 2018 is I want to pick up the PS5 version on November 9th, okay? And I want to go in pretty much fresh, because I don't have too much time in God of War 2018. It just didn't click with me. But if I were to replay that now, maybe I'd understand a little bit more. But I don't want to potentially burn myself out. I don't want to potentially burn myself out and then jump into Ragnarok and say, oh, I've already kind of played that. It would be like going from Spider-Man 24. It would be like going from Spider-Man PS4 2018 to Miles. You're going to have a similar experience. So when the haters or when people that are critical or whatever the hell say that this is hot and ready DLC, I mean, is it truly hot and ready DLC? Well, that remains to be seen. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't want to burn myself out potentially. So I want to kind of go in fresh with God of War Ragnarok, and I want to judge it solely on what that game is presenting to me on the PlayStation 5. And if I'm blown away by the haptic feedback, blown away by the adaptive triggers, blown away by just the set pieces and, just the overall kind of essence aurora of the game, then it might actually win me over. And I just need something to play on the PS5. Because every time I turn it on, I'm playing a PS4 game. Why did I buy the PS5? I already got a PS4. So, if the entire point of buying the PS5 was just to sit there and play old PS4 games, there's no point in owning the PS5. So I kind of have to buy this. Sony is pretty much making me buy this because, well, there's nothing else out there to play. It's not like we're getting a Metal Gear Solid remake or some shit like that. It's not like we're getting Silent Hill this year. There's no other alternative. Things are coming, sure, within 2023, 4, 5, 6, when that generation actually gets kind of ramped up here. And I think, like I said, again, this is going to be one of those games that potentially solidifies the PlayStation 5 and its legacy going forward, because we have yet, in my opinion, to have that moment. It's just like, yeah, the PS5 is great. It's got a lot of potential. The hardware is there. But are we seeing it being fully utilized? I don't believe we are, because a lot of games have to come to PS5. You still can't find a PS5,
Chris G donated
$4.99
through Super Chat. Before you play Ragnarok, I suggest at least getting a story recap, because you're going to feel nothing without context.
Well, I don't think I'm going to understand it. I didn't really understand The Dark Knight. Like, that was a movie that was hard for me to understand. So when you start, I kind of like games that don't have a story, because then I have to use my brain less to try and figure out, okay, this is why that character did this, because it starts getting pretty convoluted and complex and sophisticated for Will Class's brain. So, that's why I like popping in a game every once in a while where there's not much story and just going from there. Now, obviously, with Red Dead 2, it's like, okay, you're Arthur Morgan, you're in a gang, and you're shooting O'Driscolls and what have you. That's basically the story. I mean, unless and Dutch is saying, hey, Arthur, we have a plan. Arthur, we need more money, Arthur. And then ultimately it comes down to the point where it's like Arthur gets, tuberculosis, and I didn't even know what the fuck that was. I had to Google that. And I'm like, damn, we know what's coming. It's going to be a retread of basically the first game where John Marston gets shot at the very end, and then you take revenge. It's pretty similar to what they've already done, but it was pulled off in a way where it's like, this fucking sucks, and fuck Micah Bell, because he's a piece of shit, and we want to put him fucking 6 feet under that goddamn motherfucker. You know what I mean? That's what it ultimately boiled down to, another revenge tale, and it was well made, it was well acted, it was well produced, but outside of that story, was the game really surprising? Was Red Dead Redemption 2? Yeah, it's got a lot of depth. It's got a lot of detail, especially for a game that's 4 years old now, and it still holds the test of time. But was it surprising in the sense that Rockstar revolutionized the open world genre? I don't think so. I don't think Rockstar revolutionized the open world genre. Now, I think Grand Theft Auto 6 has that opportunity. I think Grand Theft Auto 6, whenever the hell that fucking releases, whenever that releases, it's going to break the internet. We've already seen leaks of it, of course, but that's a totally different dynamic. It's a totally different ballgame, okay? When Rockstar is ready to pull the curtain back and they got that bitch all polished up and you're ready to see what they're offering, you're going to be blown away. That I think, and that I know, and that I hope. But when you look at Red Dead Redemption 2, was it revolutionary? I don't think so. Was it evolutionary? Sure, a step in the right direction. But I had a lot of problems with Red Dead 2. I've reviewed that game here on this channel, so you can go back and look at those videos. You can argue they're nitpicking. But when you're building a house, okay, in the game, what they tried to do was seal this idea that it's a living, breathing world. Okay, Rockstar wants to make a life simulator. And that's evident with GTA Online when it released in 2013. You have an apartment, you have, a bank account. They wanted to make the life simulator. So what modders do is they come in and they basically make that game that Rockstar, gave them sort of a template to work with. You know what I mean? That's what Rockstar did with GTA Online. So modders came in and they evolved that experience, and now you can just role play as any NPC and do all that shit on those servers. The role-playing community, right? So Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have to natively feature those things in that experience. And that's what ultimately Rockstar is trying to push forward to. Life simulator. That's what they've always been trying to do for a long, long time now. Obviously, it's still a fucking game, but, with the core mechanics, the cores in Red Dead Redemption 2 about cleaning your gun and eating, and, it wasn't fully there yet, but, they obviously didn't want to implement it in a way where it's like, we're going to piss off all the fans, because if you don't eat, you're going to fucking die. Like, you can't put it into a point like that because it's going to just get silly and stupid. But I do believe that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to really usher in a new sort of open world genre that has been much needed for a long, long time. We're talking probably over a decade now, easily, because, all of these publishers are afraid to rock the boat. I mean, look at Far Cry 6 last year. It's the same fucking game. It's the same fucking game that they have been making for literally years and years and years. But it works, and that's what people are clamoring for. More Far Cry, roam around, shoot every enemy that moves on the screen. Literally no different than Pac-Man. I shit you not. No different than Pac-Man. I want a game where you can talk to people, and instead of them being the enemy right away, maybe you can convince them to not be the enemy. Maybe that, in my opinion, is more interesting than just shooting and killing. I'm tired of games where you shoot and kill. It's just getting old at this point.
JCrispy69 donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Gao Trilogy was better. Gameplay over graphics.
Yeah. And, that's the thing. I mean, these have high production values, and, that one-take gimmick in the 2018 game was fascinating because it was probably just the actual camera guy following the mocap performances. But, ultimately at the end of the day, I agree. I agree. Absolutely. Substance over style every single time. Substance over style every single freaking time. Substance over style every single time. I absolutely agree. But if you can do both, absolutely. Come on in. You know what I mean? Let's see what you got. Let's see what you're bringing to the table. Absolutely.
Jay Plays Casual donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Why not buy Gao?
Well, I'm saying buy it. That's what the title says. It says don't not buy God of War. So I don't know how else to explain that, but I'm basically saying buy it. As a PS5 owner especially, you got to buy this game because there's nothing else to play. I mean, look, I'm not saying everyone loves God of War. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm really not. Even the older games, I wasn't like jumping up and down like, holy fuck, I got to go buy. I was like more of GTA San Andreas type guy. I'm Rockstar, baby. But with that said, I'm not going to say, if the experience is cool, if the experience is worthwhile, I'm not going to say no to it. You know what I mean? So I'm telling basically PS5 owners to sit there and say, you know what, at the end of the day, maybe this is what you need to buy because you know what? There's nothing else to play. You know what I mean? There's really nothing else to play. So that's why I'm buying it. For that sole fact alone, that I don't have anything else to play on my PS5. Last game I bought was Last of Us Part 1 Remake, and I played that for about 30 minutes, and I said, I've already played this on PS3. I remember too fondly, even on PS4, of course, the remastered edition, and I said, I don't need to play this again, so I turned it off and never played it again. I couldn't continue playing it. So that was the last game I bought on the PS5. I have bought most of the exclusives on PS5. Most of the exclusives on PS5 I have bought because I need something. Otherwise, why are we buying this shit? It just doesn't make sense.
Lord Dunst donated $2 Canadian through Super Chat. What about Sonic Frontiers?
Oh, shit. When's that come out? Sonic Frontiers. Let me look that up. Yeah, I am actually looking forward to that because it looks like Elden Ring meets Sonic. And I don't know why people aren't seeing this connection, but, bro, November 8th, 2022. That's a great one right there. I might actually get that one too. I might actually get Sonic Frontiers. It looks like Elden Ring meets Sonic. I mean, you're Sonic roaming around this island. It looks very gray like Elden Ring. And, you're doing Sonic things on an open world. I mean, that looks kind of fucking cool. Now, they've already kind of done the open world thing, I believe, with Sonic 2006 on fucking 360 or some shit like that. It's terrible. But obviously this looks a little bit different, and I'm curious to see where they take it. So you know what? That might be another thing to play after God of War, or before rather, God of War Ragnarok. I don't know why they're putting that out. God of War Ragnarok comes out on the 9th as it shows on the screen, and it says Sonic Frontiers comes out the day before, bro. Well, they're sending that out to die. Now, granted, Sonic Frontiers is, I'm assuming, on every fucking console. Sure it is. So it's probably going to be more successful, technically, than God of War Ragnarok. However, with that said, they are sending that out at a pretty crazy fucking time because God of War Ragnarok is going to get a lot of attention from the PlayStation community, and especially when it scores very high on November 3rd. If this game comes out and people give it a 7 or they say, it's just a lot more of God of War 2018 and it's not revolutionary, I will be very surprised.
Jay Plays Casual
I will be very surprised.
$1.99 through Super Chat. What about Pokemon?
Well, I'm 30 plus years old, and it's kind of hard to justify playing Pokemon experiences at this age, but I'm assuming, there's probably a new Pokemon game too. I mean, I don't know. But Sonic Frontiers, I'm glad you brought that up. I really totally forgot about that game. And I am curious to see, when does the embargo for Sonic Frontiers, lift? Are they going to let reviewers come out of the woodwork early on that one? Sonic Frontiers embargo, let's see when this lifts here. Review embargo. Let's see when the reviews drop for Sonic Frontiers. Of course, for God of War, it comes out November 3rd, the reviews. The reviews for God of War come out November 3rd. God of War Ragnarok, November 3rd. The game comes out on the 9th, as you can see on the screen. And I'm not seeing any news on the Sonic Frontiers front. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, they're doing something a little different with Sonic. You know, it's basically Elden Ring meets Sonic. I don't know about the difficulty part, but you know, it's an open world sort of situation, and you know, I'm assuming they're going to drop you right in, and you're going to fight Dr. Robotnik again and again and again. And you know, I mean, it might be fun, it might be cool, it might be different, it might be a fresh take that the Sonic, you know, franchise has needed. As you know, it went from side scroller to fucking experimental, back to side scroller, experimental, and you know, they just keep doing stuff until something clicks and something works. But you know, it is pretty interesting the fact that it comes out one day before God of War Ragnarok. I'll tell you that. So. I am literally telling people to buy the game. That's what the title says. If you can't understand that, then maybe you should have been in the same special ed class that I was in. I am literally telling people to buy the game. That is what the title says. If you can't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. The title literally says buy the game. It says don't not buy God of War Ragnarok, meaning buy the game. Like, I don't understand how that doesn't compute with some people in here. I'm literally saying I'm literally going to buy the game. Now, not for the same reasons that you're going to buy it, because a lot of you guys are hardcore fans of this stuff. I was never in it. But I'm just going to buy it because I need something to fucking play. And it's something to showcase the PS5, because we need something to go out of 2022 with the bang on the PS5. And obviously, this is the only option for PlayStation exclusives. This is the only option for PlayStation exclusives. Now, granted, it's a 2013 game. It's on PS4, 2013 hardware, and it's going to be interesting to see this game run on base PS4. But look at God of War 2018. That's a PS4 game, and it looks fucking crazy. They pulled a lot off. I honestly think hardware is less of a factor than most people believe or want to believe. The PS4, I think, will still be capable in 5 to 10 years. I shit you not. I mean, here we are in 2022, and everyone's like, oh, fuck the PS4. It's obsolete. It's this, that, and the third. You might as well just get a PS4 at this point and play the back catalog. And, you know, there's still plenty of games coming to the PS4. I don't think they're going to move on to the PS5 exclusively until maybe 2024-5, if that. You know what I mean? It's just that weird time where you still can't find a PS5 in the stores, and that just sucks. So why would they make exclusives for a console that you still can't readily find? That makes no sense. You can't buy a PS5 online right now. If I typed in PS5, there's no way to buy a PS5 unless you're going on eBay. You can't buy a PS5. So why would you expect there to be exclusives anytime soon? I mean, there's been exclusives, but they haven't been like, it's not like The Last of Us Part 3 has come to the PS5. You know, it would be silly for Naughty Dog or, you know, for a big game like that to come out exclusively on a console that is still kind of tricky to find. It just does not make sense. So that's why this is probably more than likely. And, you know, again, it was probably primarily developed for PS4 in mind to begin with anyway. And then they just can increase the frame rate and resolution for PS5, if I had to guess. Because I've heard some articles about the fact that there's going to be that sort of, you know, how the game developers do that one thing where the character goes through like the cave. They do that side thing where it's sort of like a checkpoint system secretly, or a secret loading screen. And that's just, you know, that's just how they have to kind of make it work and make it pop in a way that makes sense, because they did that a lot in the Tomb Raider games. They did that a lot in The Last of Us Part 1, where you're like, you know, hey, Ellie, we need a ladder to get up here. Okay, go grab the ladder, and then the game like secretly checkpoints and loads or whatever the fuck. Oh my god.
Jeffrey Dahmer donated $2 through Super Chat. Kratos is the serial killer of gods.
Hey, we're not doing a God of War quiz out here, because I'll tell you what. Thanks for that information. Because I don't even really know who Kratos is, okay? You're talking to someone, like I said, I'm not really into these games, but I'm going to play it regardless, so.
Death Cited 666 donated $5 through Super
Oh, I
Chat.
know what you're saying now.
Some people can't read.
Yeah, I remember now.
Tom Cruise is hot.
No, I totally forgot about that. I literally totally forgot about that, but now I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, you were there last night. We were playing Red Dead Redemption 2. That's what we're talking about. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate you. Death Cited 666 coming through. Death Cited 666 coming through, and you're right. Tom Cruise is hot. Hell, they might as well put fucking Tom Cruise in this game as a god. You know what I mean? As like a fucking DLC, like fucking...
JCrispy69 donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a remaster. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, you know, at this point, it might as well do it. You know what I mean? I don't think it needs it. I don't have any interest in Horizon. Damn, I'm like almost going to pass out here. Ooh, we got up too quickly there, but Horizon is just cookie cutter Ubisoft stuff. You know what I mean? Horizon is, in my opinion, just it's pretty. It's pretty. It's just very formulaic. It's very cookie cutter, just like Far Cry is. Just like Far Cry is, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, we just need a little bit more, you know what I mean? If we're going to do an open world game, and obviously God of War is not an open world game, and thankfully it's not, because when I see open world these days, I say, I don't care anymore, And it used to be the opposite. Back in the day, it's like, oh yeah, we're making this open world game, and, we have all of these NPCs in this bitch, and it's just great. You're going to love it. We have a living, breathing system here in this game. That shit was exciting and so great. And then, you would play a game like Just Cause 2, and it's like, yeah, it's a big playground, but what is there to really do in it outside of blow shit up? Not much, It's just kind of shallow. A lot of these open world games are so shallow. I would rather play a linear experience that is handcrafted, you know what I mean? Handcrafted to a T, and they can work out the finite details, That's what I would rather play at this point. And I think really one of the most interesting approaches to this experience is to sort of do like Uncharted, what was it, 4? Where it's linear, but they sort of open it up a little bit more. And I think The Last of Us 2, if I remember, does that a little bit. But specifically in Uncharted, the last one from Neil Druckmann, they basically, it's a linear experience, but, it's more opened up than ever before. So I think that's the route to go. Make it linear, not fully open world, and see where it takes you, because if you do open world these days, you're just going to more than likely stumble on your face, and it's going to be so incredibly sad because, how much more do we need, Because it's the same stuff. I'm glad that Call of Duty hasn't gone down that route yet of being an open world game, because ultimately at the end of the day, I don't think they could pull that off in a way that makes sense. It's just like, okay, do this objective, do this, do that, but you have to kind of fill the open world of things to do and more importantly, dynamic. That's why I think God of War Ragnarok is going to potentially beat out Elden Ring in the Game of the Year talk, because at the end of the day, Elden Ring is not dynamic enough to be Game of the Year, in my opinion. I have played hours and hours and hours of Elden Ring like most of you have, okay? And, I'm not good at the game. I fucking suck, and I don't understand the mythology, the whatever the fuck they're trying to do in the game, okay? All I know is that I jump in, I create my dude, I kill some cool fucking looking bosses, okay? And, the hurdle is you gotta, get over the difficulty and get good. And the problem with that game is that it's not dynamic enough, okay? When you jump into Elden Ring, where the enemies are going to be, how they're going to operate, where everything is already at. So the whole open world aspect of Elden Ring was initially fantastic when you were new to the experience. It was all new, it was totally fresh, and they've never done anything like that before to that extent. So now when you play Elden Ring, from software Elden Ring, you already know where things are at. It has lost all of its replayability, because the open world is static. It's like a linear game, and they just hit control expand. They've expanded the land, and as such, they had to cut some corners in terms of not everything is handcrafted. They've recycled things. They've done this, that, and the third. And that's why a linear experience is better, because they can handcraft things. And yeah, when you play the linear experience again, it's going to be the same thing. But that's better because that. When you play an open world game, you're expecting some things to change here or there. When you play Red Dead Redemption 2 4 years later, some stuff you might, some stuff that you have never seen before might actually, rear its head. So that's why, in my opinion, I think Elden Ring is not really being talked about anymore. It's not, being played as much, is because the open world in Elden Ring is just not really dynamic enough. And that's why I think God of War at this point is going to be just a much more, like I said, linear experiences are the way to go. At this point in 2022 and beyond, linear experiences are the way to go. Because I'm tired of playing these open world games where it's like, oh, we got a city in this open world, but hey, guess what? You can't go in any interiors. Well, now it's just set dressing for cutscenes, set dressing for the story, just like Cyberpunk was. Cyberpunk was a linear looter shooter. Cyberpunk was not a deep RPG. Cyberpunk was a linear looter shooter under the guise of something much more. And that's why it sucked.
Alex Escobar donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Oh, Macaulay will be
Oh my
gutty.
God. See, that's the problem. You got these Elden Ring fanboys in here still going back and forth. Dude, that is literally a fact. It is literally a fact. If I boot up Elden Ring right now, nothing will change in the game. That is not an opinion. That's why it sucks. Because nothing changes. How is that exciting to play Elden Ring for the 20th time? It's not, because you already know where the hitboxes are at. You know where the whole goddamn thing has been dissected pixel by pixel because of these modders. I wish everything wasn't moddable, That's why I hate some of these PlayStation games coming to PC. The Last of Us is going to be ruined. The entire Last of Us franchise, as soon as that gets to PC and modders figure out how to fucking go in and do dumb shit with the game, it's going to be ruined. That shit should not be allowed. I'm sorry. I know that's a fucking weird take, but it's the same with God of War. God of War came to PC and you got fucking Elmo in there fighting now. It's like, oh, we replaced Kratos, the character model, with Elmo. It's like, that's a little fucking stupid. Sorry. I know that's a weird fucking take, but it would be like if I bought a 1965 Mustang and put a fucking brand new engine in it. Is it still that 1965 Mustang? No. I mean, maybe the exterior, but the internals have been modified. So, no, in my opinion, it's not the 1965 Mustang. So, look, if you get totally bored of the game and you want to mod it, that's fine with me. But when we're going in and taking these experiences, I don't understand why Naughty Dog is allowing this to happen. Just doesn't make sense to me. But, this is the new Jim Ryan thing. It's like, hey, you want to play this PlayStation experience? Well, wait no longer, because it's coming to PC. I think Spider-Man Miles is coming to PC later this year. Spider-Man Miles is coming to PC later this year. It just came out on PS5, 2 years ago? I bought that as a launch title. I bought Spider-Man Miles as a launch title. I played a little bit of it. Wasn't that impressed with it. Just didn't really do too much for me. And I think Spider-Man 2, when it comes out next year, is going to be much, much more. And I hope that it certainly is. But at the end of the day, that's just ultimately where the cookie crumbles, folks. You don't have to play mods if you don't like it, but that's not the point. If I made a game and they went into my game and they fucked around with the game, I wouldn't be happy. Because the devs had a vision. And what you're essentially doing, and I don't know why we're lagging. Holy shit, we got to plug this in. Guys, we are literally almost out of battery out here, folks. We got to plug this in immediately. Folks, at home. And otherwise, we're going to cut off, and that will be the end of the show here. But we're going to plug this in here, and we got it plugged in now. Hopefully, that is going to continue here. Let's see the battery life out here. We almost cut the show off here a little early. Yeah, we were at 3%. And it is still lagging. Hopefully we can have enough juice to make this continue.
69 donated $1.99 through Super Chat. Any games you're actually looking forward to?
Any games that I am looking forward to? Yeah, there's a few. There is a few. The Forest sequel, whenever the hell that comes out, the Forest sequel, they delayed that. That looks like it's promising. The Forest, what is it called? Sons of the Forest. They're probably coming out next year. I'd really have to think. There's games out there that are looking interesting, but either it's totally indie or it's something that doesn't even exist. Alan Wake 2 might be cool, might be unique. That's supposed to come out next year. Obviously, GTA 6, whenever the hell that comes out, probably not anytime soon. Maybe in 5 years if we're lucky. Yeah, there's a ton of games I'm looking forward to, but, they have to bring, for me, they have to bring something new to the table. I need something new as a boomer, and if the game isn't going to deliver something new, for example, why would I want to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 tomorrow? There's no reason. It's the same old thing. We've already been through that campaign. Why would I want to play through it again? And it seems like they dialed things back. It's less Hollywood, which, might sound cool on paper, but it's like, bro, you're literally playing that for what, like 6 hours, if that? And you're roaming around and it's like, hey, Soap, Tango at 6. All clear. Oh, shit. They're going east. Soap, in the chopper. I mean, come on, bro. It's the same shit over and over and over again. Now, had they continued the Infinite War campaign sort of premise, I'm telling you, that game is so different. that it's crazy that it was hated upon because it was like, oh, we hate Infinite Warfare, but it's like, bro, look at the campaign and look at the nuts and bolts that they were like. It's like Mass Effect, bro. You go into the ship, you upgrade your gear, you can select side missions. That has never been done before in a Call of Duty experience, and now you got Infinity Ward doing the same old crap, and some people are giving it 10s out of 10s. Like, I'm not saying you can't have fun with it. I'm not saying if you enjoyed it, that's fantastic. But, bro, that campaign is mid. I'm sorry, it's mid. There was one Call of Duty game where you were literally in New York City, in Manhattan, and there were 1 million missiles coming in. Like, I shit you not, bro. I don't know what game it was, but it was a long fucking time ago. Maybe Modern Warfare 3. Maybe the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. I can't remember. It was probably the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, if I had to guess. The Modern Warfare 3 campaign, bro. I believe that's what it was. And at the very beginning of the campaign, from what I remember, it's like, what in the blue fuck are we playing here? You could just see the amount of money that was on the screen that just took them to produce something like that. And then you play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, this brand new fucking game. This is the new Call of Duty. There's not going to be a new Call of Duty next year. And what do? They have some dumbass desert mission where you're like, oh, Snow, I equipped you with the sniper, and I need you to target them enemies. Oh, shit, it's an arms deal. It's like, oh, what the fuck are we playing here? That's some lazy-ass bullshit. Garbage. But all you need these days is great graphics, presentation, and that's it. You don't need great AI. You don't need anything that thinks outside the box. You just make the same old crap over and over and over again, and that's it. That's it. And the normies are going to be there day one. And it's sad, it really is.
Matt Productions donated $7.99 through Super Chat. You don't have to use mods if you don't want to. It doesn't ruin the main experience. I don't think you understand how it works.
I understand how it works, dude. No, I understand how it works. You're not understanding what I'm saying, bro. You're not understanding what I'm saying, bro. Are we clipping? Is this audio been terrible the whole time? Look, you're not understanding what I'm saying because ultimately, if I made The Last of Us, would I want people to go in and fuck around with those iconic characters? Why would Sony allow that? That's their property. You know, I don't get it. Maybe I don't get it. Like, I get it. Like, if you want to, I don't get it. I will never understand modding. I don't get it. If you are not satisfied with what the developers have delivered, then the game must have fucking sucked. Okay? If you feel compelled to immediately go in and start modding the game, because I know that's what modders do. They go in and they don't fucking play the game. They just, we want attention, so let's put Elmo in Resident Evil. That's funny. Oh, wow, you can roam around as fucking Elmo as opposed to Leon S. Kennedy. Who cares? It ruins the entire experience. I'm sorry. It ruins the entire experience. Now, if you can officially incorporate mods that don't, like, tarnish the story or don't tarnish, like, the framework of the game, that's a little different, okay? You know, if I don't know how to explain it other than that, okay? I don't know how to explain it other than that. I don't want to play Call of Duty. Well, then don't. I don't either. I mean, if I wanted to play it, I would have bought it already. But, you know, when people are coming out and saying it's amazing and, oh, my God, this Call of Duty campaign was so great, it's like I don't think they've played any other Call of Duty campaigns before. They used to fucking have, like, actual villains. They were movie campaigns. Like, play the Modern Warfare 1 campaign, you know, back in the day. The Modern Warfare 1 campaign, bro. You're roaming around fucking Chernobyl. 80,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Like, that shit's fucking memorable. Name one line in the Modern Warfare 2 campaign that's going to be memorable. That's the most generic slop that I've ever fucking seen, and people are praising it. Look, if you like it, great. Eat the ham fucking sandwich. But don't act like the ham sandwich is fucking fresh, freshly made kitchen from your mother. Food from your mother in the kitchen, because it ain't. Okay? Eat the ham sandwich and just be quiet. Because ultimately, that's what's happened to the games industry. These gamers are not accepting. They're just not. They have lowered their standards. These gamers have lowered their standards. They have lowered their standards, and as such, they do not clamor for quality. They are willing to just take whatever they get at that buffet. They're not willing to go up to the manager of the buffet and say, you know what, maybe this food isn't cooked at the correct temperature. You know what, maybe that chicken shouldn't be out because it's pink. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with these games today. They're so undercooked. They're so not even ready for mass consumption. I'll never get it. But at least with God of War, I mean, you're getting that. You're getting it on the disc, and you don't have to have internet to get the complete experience. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles, folks. It's 50K, not 80K. Well, too bad. You knew what I was. You understood the point. There's no reason to correct. Okay. Jeez. It's true. Like, you're not going to remember one line of dialogue from Modern Warfare 2. Name one line of dialogue from Modern Warfare 2019. They were hyping up that campaign too. Like, oh yeah, there's this crazy infiltration mission where you go through the alley and, oh my God, this is controversial. Oh my God, they're eating dinner and you're going in and you're infiltrating. It's like, maybe go back to Modern Warfare 2 and play that airport mission, This society of gamers would just collapse today if they had to fucking play a thing like that. But, Activision doesn't have the balls to produce that anymore. I mean, can you just go back to that Modern Warfare 2 2009 campaign and relive that airport mission? You've got to be I can't believe it. I can't believe it today. It's like, holy shit, they had some fucking balls back in the day. They had some balls. They produced something that was actually getting people talking. Now they just go through the goddamn rigmarole of what they read on Wikipedia about how, this shit actually operates in real life. Cool, that's boring. God damn. Matt Productions came through again, but the message was deleted, so I was not able to see it, but we do appreciate the kind generosity, and we hope that the mod made the right call there, but nonetheless, we appreciate that. Matt Productions coming through. I think I read your previous message. Oh, you were talking about modding. Yeah, well, I mean, look, we're going to have to agree to disagree. Look, for a game like Teardown, okay? For a game like Teardown, I agree with modding, okay? I think modding is fantastic for a game like that where it has, like, no story or anything like that. But when you have an iconic sort of set piece and you have modders going in and just kind of diluting that experience, I don't agree with it. I'm not saying, don't do it, but it's just not something that I agree with.
Stunning and Brave Salamence donated
Let's get it, Stunning and Brave.
$4.99 through Super Chat. Imagine The Last of Us 2 mod where Joel gets to kill Abby the same way Abby kills him.
Yeah, but
with
we
the
don't need to see that. I don't need to see that on YouTube. That's what's going to happen. Well, The Last of Us 2 is not coming to PC, thankfully. That's the great one. I'm glad they're not putting The Last of Us 2 on PC because that's the actual good Last of Us game. But The Last of Us is coming to PC, and unless there's a way where they can maybe prevent that from happening, I mean, you're going to see some dumb mods in The Last of Us Part 1 remake on PC when it comes out. And that's the shit, like, I don't need to see that. Like, I can just envision that and laugh at it. Or, you could see someone photoshopping it in or whatever. But I don't agree with
Devin
it.
Gillard donated $2.79
No.
through Super Chat. Gaming is a kitchen nightmare right now.
Well, we need Gordon Ramsay to come in and just clean it up, We need Gordon Ramsay to come in and clean it up. Look, I want to be excited. I mean, tomorrow what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy Resident Evil Village again on the Mac. And the only reason why I'm doing it is just to see how it performs. Because I have no interest in playing Resident Evil Village again. It's a total snooze fest, okay? You're literally in that game. You're literally going in a Metal Gear at the end as Chris Redfield. You're doing a Call of Duty mission with night vision goggles on, and they say that that's fucking Resident Evil. Take that and shove that shit up their ass. That is trash. But with that said, I'm going to buy Resident Evil Village again, and I'm going to see how it performs on the Mac. It's native on Apple Silicon, and it comes with the DLC, so why not? But, I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So like I said, to recap here, I am going to get God of War because I have nothing else to play on my PS5, and there's no other reason other than that. I was not fond of God of War 2018. I have multiple videos up of it here on this channel. And, maybe my points are nitpicky, but it just didn't click with me. And, like I said, I was never a massive fan of God of War. Never a massive fan of God of War. But I want to go in fresh as possible. I don't want to play God of War 2018. I want to go in fresh as possible to see what this is going to deliver, especially on PlayStation 5. Last game I bought on PS5 was The Last of Us Part 1 Remake, and I got bored of that game because I've already played a better game, and that's The Last of Us Part 2. It's a better game mechanically. It's a better game gameplay-wise. The story's more intriguing. So, yes, that is my hot take, and it's not, just saying, hey, let's play hot take out here for clicks and views and get people talking. It's more like, hey, I actually genuinely believe that The Last of Us Part 2 is a better game than the first game. And I know that's, very unpopular and most people won't agree, but at least in combat, absolutely. I think that's objective. The combat is better than the combat is light years ahead, despite it being on the 2013 hardware than The Last of Us Part 1 Remake. I don't think The Last of Us Part 1 Remake was really It just didn't need to happen. But I'm not saying it's a bad experience. It just didn't really need to happen. Remember, for 3 months, DJ Van Edit coming through, Callisto Protocol Game of the Year. Yeah, that's another one that I'm forgetting a lot of games. There's a lot of games, so it is starting to ramp up a lot here. It is really starting to ramp up a lot, and we're going to have to kind of like sift through this as it continues to happen. That's coming in December. Need for Speed's in December as well. I think Need for Speed looks kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. It's got a unique art style to it, which they're incorporating with sort of the graphics, the anime. I think you could turn it off, but nonetheless, that's coming in December, and so is Callisto Protocol coming in December, and in November, of course, God of War here on November 9th, and Resident Evil Village DLC tomorrow, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 tomorrow, officially. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Sonic Frontiers as well on the 8th. So there is a lot happening here within the next few months. Okay, there's a lot happening. It's going to unload again here, and we're going to see what the gaming industry has to offer. So, like I said, I'm going into God of War, not having played very little of God of War 2018, and I'm going to see what this can do for me as someone who's pretty much new to the whole damn franchise. You know. The Last of Us 2 is technically impressive, well, especially considering the fact that it's on 2013 hardware. In fact, I would argue it's more impressive than the PS5 remake. Absolutely. Michael does hate all games. That's not true. I literally just said I was looking forward to Alan Wake 2. I was looking forward to... what was the game that I mentioned? Can't remember. But I'm looking forward to a lot of games, okay? They are weird. They are different. But, I'm not big on the normie stuff. That's just the fact. So I'm not sure what to tell you on that. But it is the way the cookie crumbles. So do I think the Callisto Protocol is going to be that amazing? I think that's already overhyped a tad bit. I think that looks like a Dead Space knockoff if I've ever seen one. But, at the end of the day, I like the mentality behind the dev team, and it seems like they were busting their ass. I think it went gold, so there's no way it could get delayed now, right? But, I honestly, if it's great, it's great.
DJ Viva Edit donated $4.99 through Super Chat. You better wear your seatbelt on, a lot of games coming out. It's over.
Well, I'm going to have to strap in. And I'm going to have to sit there and say, you know what, at the end of the day, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. DJ coming through again. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate you, DJ, out here. It's going to be a rocky time. If I had to sit through that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign, I probably would have just fell asleep, That's how mid that experience is. It just looks so boring. Maybe it's a little different when you play it, but... it doesn't come on the disc, so when people go out and buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 tomorrow, well, they might be a little, disc version. They might be a little disappointed in that. But, it's just going to be one hell of a bumpy ride. We're just going to have to see ultimately how the cookie crumbles, okay? We're going to have to see. Michael does not aim to please everyone, and I like that. Yeah, we just tell it like it is over here. We pissed off tons of people, and, they just say troll, they just say bait, they just say this, that, and the third, and it's like, I'm telling you, I'm shooting pretty straight here. Look, and that doesn't, I said Halloween Ends was great, I said Halloween Ends was great because that was my reaction. I went to see that bitch in IMAX, and I said, you know what, I came out of that, and I said, holy fuck, Don't Fear the Reaper. I had goosebumps when that shit played at the end, and how could you sit there and hate on Halloween Ends? Oh, because it's different, because it wasn't the Michael Myers movie that you wanted it to be? Too bad. Go watch fucking Halloween Kills. Go watch Halloween 2018. Go watch Halloween 1978. Afraid of change, even if it's change for the better. I'm sick and tired of it. So, I didn't agree with the Halloween fanboys. The cracks are starting to show all Call of Duty campaigns are freaking mid. Well, especially now. They don't do anything. I remember the old Call of Duty campaigns, and it's like, there was one where a fucking nuke goes off. You're in, like, Afghanistan or some shit, and there's a goddamn nuke going off, and you're in a helicopter, and it's like... you actually see it go off, and you see the impact, and you could just see the amount of production that used to go into these games. Now they don't do anything. They literally do nothing.
Through Super Chat.
That's what we're talking about, boy coming through. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate that. They literally do nothing, bro. And I'm worked up on this Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Maybe I need to go fucking buy that too, just so I can dissect that shit. Because I guarantee it's a snooze fest. I've watched people play it. I've watched a lot of the missions. And, look, it's got neat graphics, and the facial animations are obviously improved. And it's like, oh my God, it's almost photorealistic, and this, that, and the third. But it's like, come on, bro, look past that shit. What are you doing in the missions? Nothing. You know, is it open-ended? No. I mean, there might be a few missions that, you know, kind of give you some leeway, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a pretty fucking cookie-cutter experience. Like, oh, yeah, Tango down. Jeez, you know, riveting. You know, I mean, I'm not saying I want unrealistic expectations. I want unrealistic campaigns in Modern Warfare, you know, these Call of Duty games, but it's like, come on, you're going to have to, like, amp this bitch up a little bit. Because just doing these, like, standard fucking takedown missions and shit, like, that to me does not seem interesting. So, I mean, look, the game... I guess is pretty divisive, though. I don't know. Everything's got to be divisive now. It's either like, oh, this is the best thing ever, or it's fucking trash. Everything's so black and white now with everyone. You know, it's just like nothing's ever in the middle. It's just like this sucks balls, or it's the best thing ever. There's no in the middle anymore. It always has to be one extreme or the other. You know? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. Well, I mean, if they want to...
Kratos donated €2 through Super Chat. I will be gutty. That's the reality of the population.
Yeah, I don't think Elden Ring is going to win Game of the Year unless maybe there's a cutoff point and God of War doesn't fit in. I think God of War will win because it is going to be a more impactful experience than Elden Ring. Elden Ring, you're sitting there trying to fight these bosses for 50 hours unless you fucking are a master at it or whatever the fuck. Or you just kind of figure out the science behind the game and how it operates. Once you figure that out, I mean, it's probably not that hard. Really not a skill game because once you figure out where the hitboxes are at and shit like that, it's just like, okay, this is what you do, and then you just press the buttons and that's it. Not much skill involved in that. But I do think God of War will actually, it's going to be more impactful. It's going to be more impactful. It's going to have... that narrative that people are clamoring for, and those boss fights are going to be epic, and it's just going to flow a lot better than this open world game that just never seems to end, you know? A lot of this stuff never seems to end, and that's so incredibly sad. So, it's just ultimately the way the cookie crumbles out here, folks. Not even the twist, it's way better in the OG campaign. Yeah, I mean, in the OG campaign, it was like, the boss, The boss at one of the old... it was just a lot better. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, again, you look at the campaign for Modern Warfare 2 in 2009. You're literally in an airport, and it's
DJ
fucking
Vivek
crazy,
donated
dude.
$1.99
They could never do
through
that
Super
now.
Chat. I was wrong about Gotham Knights. It's a fun game.
Let's pull that video up. I know we're kind of done with the God. We're basically going to wind up the God of War discussion here because there's only so much I can say. Again, to recap, I am going to buy it. We're going to follow it up to the release on November 9th. The reviews come out November 3rd. I'm going to buy it because there's nothing else to play. I'm not going in hating it. I'm not going in saying it's total trash, although I wasn't a fan of 2018. With that said, I'm going to go in as fresh as possible, not play 2018, and go in as fresh as possible and start to kind of maneuver from there. And we'll see how the cookie ultimately crumbles. DJ coming through again. Hell yeah, brother, we appreciate you. Let's pull up that video because I want to discuss this, okay? I want to discuss this. And I know some people are here for the God of War talk. We've been talking about it for like 2 hours out here. I want to pull this video up here. It's Gotham Knights versus Arkham Knight. Okay, this is going viral on the internet. Gotham Knights versus, it's got 1.8 million views. Okay, this really fucking blew up. Jesus Christ, it had like 300,000 last time I checked. Gotham Knights versus Arkham Knight. Let's pull this up, and I have a problem with it. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what's wrong with this video. So we're going to pull this up here, and this is going to be Gotham Knight versus Arkham Knight. I think that's what the game's called. Can't even remember. Once this ad is over with, we're going to jump right into this. So this is going to be comparing Gotham Knight versus Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight's obviously a lot older on primitive technology. It's not that old. But nonetheless, this is the video that's got like 1.6 million views now, and people are saying, let's get some audio up on this. Okay, here's the problem, bro. Here's the problem. Okay, I'm pausing the video right now. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. If I made this video, oh, bro, they would have chewed me out. They would have fucking chewed me out. How dare you complain a motorcycle against the Batmobile? They're totally different mechanics. But when some fucking rando can make this video, it's like, oh, hell yeah. Fuck Arkham Knights, man. Confirmation bias, bitch. It's like, first of all, we're comparing apples to oranges, bro. Okay? We're literally comparing apples to oranges, bro. So we're supposed to, like, I don't understand what this video is showcasing here. Like, the summoning of the bike is shit? Is that what this is saying? Because it doesn't do that cool animation? Like, yeah, okay, it looks less cool. It's serviceable. I don't understand. I don't understand what this video is trying to tell. What story are we trying to tell here? What is the narrative? Why did he cut? No. This is the most biased shit I've ever seen. Okay, look, I never even played Arkham Knights. I'm never playing that trash unless you guys want to see me sit through it. Okay, but look, the guy just cut away. The guy literally just cut the video before. I'm done. Like, if you're trying to, like, actually compare them, then do it. But when you come in and you just want to say old is better than new, and that's the narrative that you have, at least try and make it not as obvious. Because, bro, he switches over to this clip right here, and it cuts right before he tries to hit the cars, because I know they don't fucking move in Arkham Knight. Watch this. The guy literally cut the fucking video right before he crashed into the cars on that damn bridge, because I guarantee you they don't fucking move. That's why there was a cut there. I don't understand. I mean, like, yeah, this looks cooler, but you're literally comparing a motorcycle to a Batmobile. This video is trash. This video is trash. You're literally comparing the Batmobile to a motorcycle, bro. Okay, does Arkham Knights have a Batmobile? Because if it does, then there would be a more fair comparison. No shit, this looks better graphically, or it's got a better style to it. There's obviously more destructibility, based off of what I'm seeing here in this video. But, I don't understand. We're cherry picking here. And if I made this video, they'd call me out forever and say, oh, this guy's a fucking piece of shit. He's just cherry picking. He just has this, he hates every game, this and that. But when you got some idiot on this internet just doing nothing, just putting baseless clips together and saying, oh, this new game's trash. Whatever, dude. I'm done. I'm closing the video. It's trash. I'm out. As soon as I saw that cut, I'm out. Garbage. Can't take it seriously. He literally cut right before he tried to hit that car, and he knew he didn't move, so he just cut. Like, it's just garbage. Look, I'm not a big fan of Arkham Knight. I'm not a big fan of Arkham Knight. I think both games are terrible. I did not like Arkham Knight. I didn't like it. There's nothing to do in the city. There's literally nothing to do in the city. There's nothing to do in the city outside of kill everything that moves on the screen. If you're going to design an open world game and have that be the only objective, I'm out. Okay? And it's way too sexualized. Arkham Knight's way too sexualized. You got Poison Ivy, like, practically in a thong. Like, I don't know who the fuck made that shit, but y'all are fucking down bad, down sad. Okay? Dead ass. I think, Rocksteady. They literally have these, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy. Like, I couldn't even play that shit in the room because it's like, damn, this is sexualized. Like, Poison Ivy is fucking nude in this shit. And that's why the gamers love it, because they're like, oh, fuck, Poison Ivy. But Arkham Knight is a snooze because literally, you just roam around and shoot anything that moves on the screen. You guys, it's time to play some games out here, guys. It's time to play some games. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. It's time to play some games out here. So, we got a brand new mouse here. The old one died, and we got this one from Microsoft. Okay, it's the Blue Ocean one here, and hopefully it performs well. It says it has 12 months of battery life. I don't know if I believe that, but we're going to see. This is exciting. All right, the mouse is turned on here, and we're going to go ahead and play a game. And this is one of the best games to play because you can turn your brain off, okay? You can turn your brain off here. And we're going to go ahead and launch this game right here, folks at home. We're going to go ahead and launch this game. It's my favorite zombie game. You just turn it on and shoot anything that moves on the screen. But it doesn't try to be more than that. You know, it just literally, that's the objective. Kill the zombies on the screen. No ifs, ands, or buts. And that's the way the cookie ultimately crumbles here. So we're going to go ahead and launch this game if we can log into Steam. And with that said, let's see if it is working here. We have to log in. Riveting here. This is great. I love this. We're going to go ahead and log in here. We're going to go ahead and log in here. Yeah, well, that's not the right password. Jeez. We're going to go ahead and log in here, attempt to log in here, and I seemingly do not know my password. All right, connecting to Steam. And we're going to go ahead and play the zombie game here. It's launching right now. Let's go ahead and pull this up on the screen, folks at home. This is a fantastic game. It is free on Steam. And we're going to go ahead and switch over here. Oh, geez. We're going to go ahead and switch over here, and we're going to fix this. This is a great game, guys. I'll tell you what. This is a fantastic game. Here we go. No story. You jump right in. You can play as some hot bitches with a big gun. This is fantastic. AK-47, let's go. Better than the Call of Duty campaign, and it's free. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, folks at home. Let's get it. Let's get it. Chapter 1, Highways. Literally, the objective of this is to kill everything that moves on the screen. Dead ass. Kill everything that moves on the screen, bro. That is literally the objective. This is insane. It's not trying to be more than it wants to be. It's just kill everything that moves on the screen. And my, oh my, this is a fantastic game. Can you see what's going on the screen here? Woo! Unbelievable. Free to play on Steam. Come on. Come on. That's what we're talking about. Headshot, you're done. Move.
Merkenium donated
Let's get it.
through Super Chat.
Merc coming through. Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate you. You're done. Look at that. World class is the best in the business. This Microsoft mouse is really fat. I love it. Comfortable. Pretty pricey, but we need something high quality out here. And look at this right here. Unbelievable. No story. Right into the action. No bullshit. We're getting right into the reality of the situation. This is incredible. Oh, absolutely. Oh, shit. Look at this right here. Reloading the gun. Oh, my God. She's strong. She's independent. Very powerful. Very sexy. This is how you represent women. Unbelievably amazing out here. Look at this right here. Gotta get some ammo out here. Pick up the ammo. Reload the ammo. Oh shit, they're coming. No, 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 no. She doesn't love. We're continuing to make our way through this game. This is the game right here. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. No, 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 no. Woo! Damn! One of the best games I've ever played. Free on Steam, you know? I think one guy made it too, you know? That's what's even better about it. Boom. She doesn't love! Get away! We have 9 zombies left, and we're going to complete this right here. 9 zombies left, folks, and we're going to complete this right here. Oh, that's bullshit. No, no, no. Oh my God, I'm out of ammo. Oh my God, I'm out of ammo. We're not going to die right here. There's no fucking way. We're not going to die right here. There's no fucking way. No, 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 no. I'm done. Trash game. Trash game. I'm done. Absolute trash. Turning off the mouse. Unbelievable. Unbelievably sad. But that's what I'm talking about. You know, we need games that jump right into the experience. Right into the experience. We don't need... The worst thing about Red Dead Redemption 2 is when you want to replay it, you got to sit through a 6-hour fucking prologue. Like, dead ass. a 6-hour freaking prologue about Arthur. We must go up to them hills and see what them people are doing up there, Arthur. We need more food for the camp, Arthur. Where's her husband at? I got a bone to pick with her. She owes me money, Arthur. You know, it's just like, come on. Like, I get it. Like, they're trying to tell this mature, bold story. It's for older gamers. Like, it takes 5 million years to get on the fucking horse, and it's great acted, you know? But, like, we have to get into it.
Through Super Chat. World class, giving me world class bonus.
I mean, it's a fantastic experience. You know, you jump right in, shoot zombies, and you got great women to look at, and men as well, you know? Great character models. Absolutely. Z3 coming through with the 2. Hell yeah, brother. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, folks at home, we are out here. Again, we talked about God of War earlier. We have a few more games that we could potentially play out here. This guy has a problem. Well, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Is it because I didn't agree with your opinion on the Modern Warfare 2 campaign? Bro, I'll buy that bullshit tomorrow, okay? I'll buy that bullshit tomorrow and sit through that. But I don't really want to. I'd rather play Resident Evil Village on the Mac because it's going to be interesting to see how that performs. Although, you know, I mean, you know, if you guys really want to see me fucking sit through that shit, I mean, I'll try. But I don't think I'm going to have much fun when it's like, hey, Soap, over on your right, Tango down. You know, it's like, geez, we've already fucking been through that for fucking 10 years. Literally 10 years of the same campaign, but worse now. Like, literally everything is scaled back because, you know, Warzone's getting all the resources. Warzone's getting all the dev team. That's obviously where their primary fucking focus is, Warzone 2, and the multiplayer, of course, for Modern Warfare 2. Why would they invest anything into the campaign? And clearly they didn't. It's just like, hey, we set up some very simplistic, like even the title card for Modern Warfare 2 is like just literally like Microsoft Paint. Black background, white text, nothing fancy about it. And it's like, oh, that's like a bold approach. It's like, no, that's just fucking laziness. Sorry. You know what I mean? That's just pretty lazy. Let's see what else we have out here. That's a great game, but it is pretty difficult at times. Let's see what else we have out here, folks at home. Let's see what else we have out here. We have Spec Ops The Line. You know, I got that game. We got Elden Ring. We're not going to boot that up. It takes 20 years to boot up. We're not going to boot up Warzone either. That takes literally an hour to boot up. It's fucking crazy. What really could we jump into here? That's the only game that I know of that, you know, we can quickly jump into and get our little game session on out here. But if we try and jump into anything else, really, it's going to take 10 years to do that. Unless I'm seeing something here that I don't know if I have. Yeah, Spec Ops The Line, they said that was revolutionary. I played that, and I almost fell asleep playing that, too. Dango down. Literally, that's the campaign. Dango down. You didn't follow the script, mate. Mission failed. We'll get him next time. You didn't follow the script, mate. Mission failed. We'll get him next time. As soon as you deviate from the path, like Red Dead Redemption 2, the game just kicks you in the ass and says, "Oh, you're not doing what we want you to do." And it's like, I get that, but you might as well just put that bitch on rails. Just like literally design the level around rails. Like literally have a mission set in an abandoned theme park, you know, and have Soap and the crew, whoever the fuck you play as the ghost, and you literally get inside the roller coaster. They turn it on because they're like looking for the fucking, they're looking for the enemies down below or some shit like that. So just like literally put it on fucking rails at that point, you know. What could we jump into, folks? Oh, we got Blair Witch out here. That runs like total trash. I'm going to delete that from this computer. It's total garbage. We got Teardown. They supposedly updated that, but we have yet to update it here. We don't have too much out here, I'll tell you. Got some terrible games out here. None of them are really... The only good one is that zombie game to jump in real quick. GTA 5 that takes 20 years to load. It's so sad. Stay frosty, mate. Why not buy Ragnarok? Well, we've already been through it. You can rewind, but I'm literally telling people to buy Ragnarok, especially if you're a PS5 owner. That's what the title says. I mean, unless I don't understand my own title, which could very well be true, I'm pretty sure it says buy it. Spec Ops was probably cool at the time, but it's just like betraying players' trust and deliberate way of the game. Yeah, it's just, well, I mean, like I said, Modern Warfare 2, they will never pull that off in a way that makes sense. They will never pull that off in a way that makes sense. So, you're not going to get that level again. I'll tell you that. You're not going to get that Modern Warfare 2 airport level ever again. You won't ever see that sort of like bold storytelling again. It's like they had to serve the story, and that was what was needed. And they weren't willing to back out. They weren't willing to say, hey, kiss my foot. They were willing to say, fuck you, this is our story. Did they even have a disclaimer in the original Modern Warfare 2? I know in the remake, the remastered version rather, it does. But I don't remember if it had it in the original release. Because I bought it, Modern Warfare 2, when it first came out. And that was the cream's crop, But these Call of Duty campaigns today, I mean, they're so unmemorable. It's the same old slop over and over again. Especially that World War II crap, bro. Like, hey, you're back on the beach where they fucking filmed Saving Private Ryan. Tom Hanks was out here, Like, holy shit, how many times can we just, retread through that the beach, Normandy Beach, It's like, we get it. It was crazy. It was violent. Why is my computer doing this? Guys, are we live? Well, if you guys can't figure out the title, then I guess that's my fault. Let's jump into something else real quick before we probably wind this one down here. What should we jump into? We need something quick. We could potentially launch GTA. Let's launch GTA 5 just to see if this works out here. Now, if I got to play through that story, we ain't doing that. I'm just going to launch it and we'll play a little bit of it, and then we'll wind this down. The sun's going down. It's getting nipply out here. Very cold. So let's launch GTA 5. If it's got an update, we're not going to launch it. It probably has to update because of GTA Online. But we can jump into the campaign and see if there's anything to offer in that campaign. And we're not going to play the story. We're just going to sit there and roam through the map. But I clicked on it. It's not doing anything. So I don't know what's going on, folks. Call of Duty Ghosts was the last decent Call of Duty. I never played through that one, but I played through the zombie mode, the alien invasion mode, or some shit like that. I thought that was cool. One of the best multiplayer modes is that one that was called you have to survive the horde. Infected. And they don't even do that anymore. Dude, I literally clicked on GTA 5. Nothing is happening. Dead ass, nothing is happening. So I guess that doesn't work. Or it's taking 5 years to launch. That's why I like clicking on that zombie game, because I already know it's just going to launch immediately and we're going to get right into it. Update available. Yeah, we got to play update. I'm not doing that. Close that shit right now. Unreal. See, that's the problem with all of this shit. You just got to constantly update. You got to constantly just like... Half of these games can't even play them because they got to fucking get an update. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake. Oh, my Lord. Let's play Spec Ops The Line. I don't think this needs an update. Let's play Spec Ops The Line real quick. Since we're talking so much about Modern Warfare 2. They did have a disclaimer. Yeah, but it's not the same disclaimer that they put on the new one. I guarantee it. It probably just said something generic like, this is going to feature some sensitive images on your screen or something like that. But I'm sure in the new one it's like, here's, for the snowflakes, it's like, we have a mission where we, the terrorists are going through the airport and it's very, warning, flashing lights. Oh my God, it's just, nothing is launching out here. I can't get any game to launch. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. You don't have to, but, if you think you like what you see and you're on the fence, give it a shot. We usually go live daily, multiple times a day, but, nothing is launching out here. Rockstar Games Installer. Oh, my God. Unable to launch the game, please verify your data. I don't know what that means, but Spec Ops The Line. Is that not even launching either? Jeez. You know what the new trend is in the games industry right now, especially on the indie scene? The body cam way. The body cam style. That is the new trend. I think it looks very cool. And if I were if I knew how to code a game, I'd put something together really fucking quick to capitalize on that. It's like this photorealistic body cam sort of style. It is really trendy right now, bro. So if you know if you are technically proficient and you know how to code something real quick, I mean, shit, that's what I'd be doing right now. I'd be making a body cam experience, pretty generic, but, executed well. You got to make it look as realistic as possible. No story. You get right into the game. It's either a scary game or a Call of Duty clone, and that's all you got to do. Nothing is working. Literally nothing is working out here, folks. This is crazy. I mean, we could probably... Let's open up Teardown. Is that even going to work? Holy shit. Well, that's got to update, too. I guess we're just not going to be able to play anything. The Snowflake Mission. Well, we were going to play one little game before we winded it down out here, but I'm clicking on things and nothing is happening outside of minimizing windows. So something is clearly broke out here. Maybe the GPU turned off. Something clearly went haywire out here. I don't know what's going on. Nothing launches. We could try the zombie game again, but that's, we usually like to play that once and then we're moving on because it's too hard. Fireworks Mania. Is that going to launch? Is anything going to open out here? Nothing is working. Well, that shit is cringe. Michael, design a game like that zombie game? I might have to. I mean, I don't know anything about coding, but, yeah, literally nothing is launching. I've clicked on multiple different games, and nothing is popping up here. This is really odd. Really peculiar here. Not really sure what's going on, but it is what it is. Someone made it in Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, but they're not releasing it. Why would you not release that? Like, I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. If you have something special and it's going viral, you have to capitalize on that. I don't understand what they're doing. They're just waiting until that shit dies down. They're waiting for someone else to take their spot is what they're essentially doing. Like, you can't just, here's a clip that I'm working on. Maybe they didn't expect it to go viral, but since it did go viral, they need to make that a priority, in my opinion. If you're talented, you're technically proficient, and you can put something together that people enjoy and are, clamoring for it, and they're compelled to play or, interested in, then that's where you go. But they're seemingly not doing anything. Are you going to play Evil West? I don't know what that is. And you got timed out by someone, so I probably shouldn't have mentioned what that is. Probably a fake game. Alrighty, well, we're probably going to wind this one down out here. Nothing is launching. I don't even know if we can... Yeah, nothing is launching. So... we're going to play something else, but there's nothing to really play anyway. Tomorrow we're going to try and cover the Resident Evil Village experience on the Mac. I don't think there's going to be much coverage of that. That's why we're going to jump into there. And we're going to see how that performs. And I think it might actually be pretty surprising. I think the performance is going to surprise a lot of people. I mean, if it can hit 1080-60 on medium-high settings, that will be very interesting, to say the least. Very interesting. Maybe even above that. Who knows? We'll see. It's natively for Apple Silicon, so if there's any tech nerds in here, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But alrighty, folks, we're going to go ahead and wind this one down. Everything just stopped working out here, so tear down. I click on it, nothing. Steam. Can we even open up Steam? Okay, well, maybe something's going to start working here. What do we have in the Steam library? Hold on. Well, we don't have really anything in the Steam library here, I don't think. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do it, unfortunately. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tagging along, and supporting the show. And we will Watch Dogs 2 tonight. Well, that is a fun game to play. But that's going to do it for now. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tagging along, supporting the show, and we will see you later. It's over.